Good evening, Panther Nation, and welcome to this special edition live streaming event of Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing, and we are at Memorial Stadium for the final football contest of the 2023 season. The Liberty Panthers hosting the Bridge City Cardinals. Liberty coming into this contest 1-8 on the season and 1-4 in District 9 4A play, while Bridge City coming into this contest 3-6 on the season and also 1-4 in district play. Both teams beating the Hardin-Jefferson Hawks, and it should be a pretty good one tonight. Both teams wrapping up their season as the top of the district, including Hamshire-Fannett, Silsbee, West Orange Stark, and Jasper heading to the playoffs, which begin next week. Ross, are you ready for me? There's Ross. All right, and tonight is actually senior night, and the seniors honored before the game. All the seniors that are involved in the Friday night lights, including the prancers, the cheer squad, anyone that works with the athletic training program, the AV crew, the band, and hopefully I didn't forget anyone. And we honored three of our own. Yes, we honored three of our own, but we are losing four after this season. Our man El Jefe himself, Eduardo Mata, leading the charge. He's been with this program since its inception, and he's personally been with me and my programs since 6th grade. Long time. And Grant Burgos, Zach DeBerry, and Cutter Warden, who have been kind of weaving themselves in and out of our program and doing a good job doing camera work for us along the way. And we do have a commercial that features those four young men. Up top tonight, Eduardo and Alejandro Minivar, the heir apparent to El Jefe, who's done a good job filling Eduardo's footsteps, shoes, whatever you call those. Was it Zapata? Is that right? Nod your head, yes. Okay, I said it wrong. All right, I'm not even going to attempt to say that ever again because that was incorrect. But at any rate, thank our seniors for all the great work that they've done for us. And again, we are here at Memorial Stadium for this final 9-4A contest of the season. And Ross, are you ready? All right, Ross, welcome. And let's talk about tonight. The Liberty Panthers hosting the Bridge City Cardinals. Hold on, we've got the school song happening, and then when the school song's done, then we'll talk about the Bridge City Cardinals. All right, that's the school song. All right, Ross, now let's talk about the Bridge City Cardinals coming into town. What are the Panther fans about to see this evening?
Well, thank you. They are going to see a team that's got some speed. The ball's going to be in the air quite a bit, but they do a decent job of mixing things up. I think your big people to watch for in this game are going to be the quarterback, Hutch Bearden. He is a junior. And you've got a receiver, Jarris Brown. He's also going to be somebody that he tries to target. Brown able to catch the ball, and you really have quick feet through traffic.
You know, not to pause you real quick, Ross, but you asked me what year that they started. This was the class that lost their 8th grade spring year to COVID shutdown, and then a limited return to action for their freshman year.
Okay.
So this was the class. You asked about that. So they were they entered high school in the fall of 2020.
Okay.
Sorry.
Some other guys to watch out for, Jamal Charles
Jamal Charles.
Yes, he's got some extra eligibility.
Coming back from the Chiefs and the University of Texas. All right.
He's going to be a running back that's going to be used throughout the night. Again, he has some pretty quick feet through traffic. May look like he's going to get clogged up there, but then all of a sudden, whoop, he's out of in an open field.
Well, that was the best Chris Berman impersonation.
I try not to do that.
I don't know if you intended to do that or not, but that was pretty darn good. Okay, that's offensively. Defensively.
Well, I was going to say
another
thing. Another one of the backs that's going to be used to carry the ball, Merrick Aras, and he is probably going to get the majority of touches on the ground. But again, they do mix it up a little bit, so what I just said makes no sense.
Okay, defensively for Bridge City.
Well, Nicholas Lejeune, the nose guard, is going to be a real thorn in the side of the Liberty offensive line. He can get through that line quick and into the backfield, put pressure on the quarterback. Saw it last week against Hardin Jefferson. He does move very well for a big guy and pretty quick for a big guy. Expect to see a lot of double teams on Lejeune tonight as they try to neutralize him.
All right, Ross, Bridge City coming into this contest 3-6 overall, 1-4, identical district record as Liberty. However, they played Silsbee very tough, only surrendering 33 points, and they also played West Orange Stark extremely, extremely well. They were leading at 1 point and then carried a close contest all the way through the game.
I believe the final was 28-14.
And they did not
West Orange Stark.
They did not pull away until the mid-fourth quarter, I believe.
And really, if you look at that, that's not pulling away.
No. So
still within striking distance.
No matter what is said, a tough contest, no doubt, despite whatever their record may share. Now let's flip the script and talk about the Liberty Panthers. Last week, Liberty fairly dominated in the first half by a very, very good Hamshire-Fannett Longhorn team, and then in the second half they pulled the gas off a little bit and started shuffling in some people, and then we saw that Panther offense kind of find some footing. Alex Valtier, the senior, scoring a couple of times in the fourth quarter to break up the shutout.
Silsbee has a lot of weapons and some really good athletes, including Draylon Miller. Hamshire-Fannett, though, I can tell you right now, it's between Hamshire-Fannett and Silsbee in my book. Seeing both teams play as to who's the top one in the record aside, but who's the top in the district and who will go further in the playoffs. I think Hamshire-Fannett, a more disciplined team than Silsbee. You didn't see any mistakes in the first half with Hamshire-Fannett. They were able to take care of their business, scoring on their first 7 possessions of the game in the first half. And so that's a good ball club. So Liberty going up against some really good teams in the district, as did Bridge City. I can say, just from what I know about Bridge City this year, they're a good ball club and improved from last year.
All right, Ross, both teams in their respective tunnels getting set to get onto the field. Under 10 minutes to go here in the pregame portion of this contest. And the Liberty Panthers looking to end the season on a strong note as they head into the offseason starting on Monday morning. And the Liberty Panthers Sports Network will be moving on as well. We'll be carrying some basketball games this fall, and then perhaps early into the spring as we get set to pick up softball coverage. And that's the fight song for the Liberty Panthers as they take the field. And for this class of 2024, the final time they get to run through the tunnel. And what a feeling for those young men coming through. Dalton Pritchard and Ryan Hebert carrying the American and Texas flags.
Since I'm not allowed to say Ryan Hebert.
You can't say his name. That's nepotism. We've already talked about that.
We're still working that one out in litigation right now. I won the first round. You've appealed, and now we're going up the ladder.
No doubt about that. Bridge City getting set to run through their own tunnel, and then it will only be a matter of time before we begin. In fact, I can tell you exactly, it's going to be 8 minutes and 32 seconds. I believe the choir, actually, no, I'm looking down there. This may be middle school or elementary kids. I think that's the elementary choir that's going to be doing the national anthem.
You know, as you get older, you look at kids in school and you go, man, we looked a lot older in high school than they do. If those are high schoolers, they're getting smaller.
No, I think I spit. I didn't spit at all. I think I spot Miss DeCamp down there, and she is at the elementary. And so that would be the elementary choir getting set to perform the national anthem.
That makes sense, that the elementary choir leader.
Oh, man, it's going to be a fun one tonight. I can already predict it. I've already tumbled over my words more than once.
Just don't tumble over the rail.
Well, we've got a couple of wing dingers on the Bridge City side.
Who?
Wing dingers. We got a couple.
What exactly is a wing dinger?
We got a couple of names that I don't know how to say. You walk down there to the coaching staff that's up here, and hopefully you got the pronunciations, because that ball is firmly in your court on that.
Well, maybe you should have gone down there, because it's a very easy name to pronounce. But there's so much going on up here, Joe, that I kind of forgot to write it down.
Okay.
So we'll have to go back over. Actually, we'll send you back over.
Sounds good. Well, while we're waiting for Bridge City to come out of their tunnel, I want to take this time to thank our sponsors, C. Bruce Stratton, attorney at law, along with Christina Varela-Crisco. Thank you for your sponsorship this season, as well as Michelle Mangum-Marandino. And again, without our sponsors, we cannot do broadcasts like this. All this cool equipment that we have and all these wonderful students that we have do a fine job. And the more sponsorship that we get, the more cool stuff that we can put in their hands to do some cool things. And our hope is that several of these young men and young women are going to take the skills that they learn, and they'll be able to take this out into the real world and use some of that to make a living.
Something I tell people is it's not only if they go out and they go into the audio-visual realm of the real world, it's the skills that they've learned in problem solving, because if there's one thing about live production,
oh my gosh,
live remote production, yes, which is even worse, is it's not a matter of when, or not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And so they have really learned those skills, and that's something that they can use throughout their lives. And thank you to our sponsors who make it possible.
Absolutely. Bridge City on the field. And again, I forgot to welcome our friends from Bridge City who may be tuning in to join us this evening. Thankful for our faithful fans that have been with us throughout the entirety of this football season. And now we are going to get the prayer and the national anthem. And then at the conclusion of that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, it'll be time for captains in the game.
Dear Heavenly Father, we ask for your protection over everybody performing today, and that you watch over the boys out there as they play their last game this season. We thank you for giving us this opportunity for such an amazing and memorable football season this year, Lord. I pray that all of our seniors have the greatest and safest time as they start their last game of the year tonight. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. If you remain standing for our national anthem, would this be
And how about that? Great job on the national anthem from those young people. And another great job from Ms. DeCamp and her crew down at Liberty Elementary School. And as the captains are in the middle, they'll get set for that. We're going to take a, well, before we do that, let me ascertain if we can do it. All right, we're going to go ahead and get the captain's meeting taken care of, and then we'll take a quick commercial break there at the midfield. And the usual cast of characters, as Ross says. We do have Anthony Garcia out there, Alex Valtierra, Kay Jordan, and Tony Denman representing the Liberty Panthers as captains tonight, with the rest of the team on the numbers. Just waiting for the official to give the signal. The final game of 9-4A here at Memorial Stadium on this very, very nice November evening. Probably our first cool game of the entire season, and I am 100% here for that. Ross and I have done our share of sweating during most of the season. And with the captain's meeting taking place, they will get to their respective sides. And it looks as though the Liberty Panthers are going to receive the opening half kickoff. And we will be right back momentarily. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. And as promised, that last commercial was indeed a recognition of the wonderful job our senior group has done with the AV program. And getting set for this opening kickoff. And the Liberty Panthers will be receiving. And back deep for the Panthers. So we can get a number here. Looks like number 2, Tony Denman, and number 10, Jason Wycliffe, back deep for the Panthers. And kicking for the Bridge City Cardinals, number 18, Victor Hernandez. And we'll get our first look at this Panther offense here momentarily. Just about underway at Memorial Stadium for Bridge City versus Liberty. Joe Roberts, Ross Noel, and producer Richard Ewing on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. And away we go. That's going to be high and fielded cleanly by Wycliffe at the 15. And he's going to slip at about the 20-yard line. And that's going to be where the Liberty Panthers start their first drive of the first quarter. I almost said Ross, but there's really nothing for you to say. I don't want to give you the Monty treatment just yet.
Well, they kicked off, and then they started running it back.
You've got your pointer out, so I never know.
Yeah, I'm going to start beating you with this thing.
Well, that probably wouldn't be the worst thing that's happened to me.
And
Frankie Mares, the sophomore quarterback, and behind him, Alex Valtierra, who will take the ball to the right-hand side, follow some nice blocking, and still churning along to close to the 30, just about the 29-yard line. A nice pickup on first down, just about 9 yards on the carry, and that'll bring up second down and short from the near hash mark. Liberty moving from left to right or north to south. And we talked about this earlier. This is probably the best looking the grass at the stadium has been all season long, Ross.
I'll go further than that, Joe. I think it's the best it's looked in my lifetime.
Okay.
And I'm 75.
And this time, Valtierra goes to his left, trying to find the outside. And he is going to get pulled down by number 55, but not before he picks up first down yardage. Aiden Richardson with a stop for Bridge City, and the ball will be on the Panther 35-yard line. We had those dog days of summer that seemed to extend forever and ever with no rain. And then in the last month or so, with the influx of rain that we've received, it's really breathed a new bit of life into this stadium, Ross. 10:40 and counting here in the first quarter. First and 10 for the Panthers from their own 35-yard line. Mares and Valtierra still out there. Frige in motion. This time Valtierra on the right-hand side, and he's going to get spilled by number 10, Brees Breeden. It's going to be about a yard on the pickup. We got second down and 9. Middle of the hash, Ross.
I thought it was Bryce.
Did I say Bryce, or what did I say?
You said Brees.
Did I say Brees?
You did say Brees.
Okay, maybe I should say it correctly. I told you it was gonna be a wing name. That's not even a hard name. That's an easy name. Bryce Breeden. I'll get it right probably tomorrow.
Joe, that's my level screw up.
Well, I aspire to greatness, and you are on Mount Rushmore. Mares rolls to his right, and he'll tuck it and go. Cuts back inside and runs into a wall of Cardinal. And that's number 55 again with the stop, Aiden Richardson. Pick up maybe 2 on the carry as the ball gets moved up to about the 38-yard line. We got third down and probably 7.
Blaze Keene was in the backfield, and Whitcliffe was able to elude him.
Mares. And he'll pull that and follow the blocking of Valtierra and get tripped up. Once again, 55 all over the place. And Richardson making a name for himself early. And he will bring up fourth down and 5. Ball on the Panther 40-yard line near hash mark. Under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Panthers in the middle of their first drive. And I do not see Diego Diaz out with the punt team, so I don't know if they're going to see if they can draw him off sides here and then call a timeout or what they're going to do. This is definitely not no man's land.
That's pretty close to no man's land.
We may get a hard count right here, not sure.
Down to 1.
I'm going to pull that to the right. Escapes the would-be tackler, still on his feet. And Mares, with some tough running, picks up the first down for the Liberty Panthers, and they will move up to their own 49-yard line. And I presume both teams already eliminated for the playoffs. Now is definitely the time to pull out all the stops and try some things, because there's no reward for anything other than that, Ross.
Defensive back Luke Williams was back there, could not quite get a grasp as there was a little deception on who had that football.
We got first down and 10. Liberty on their own 49-yard line near hash mark. Mares again. And this time Valtierra with the ball right-hand side. And he will get stopped by number 10, but he will get across midfield for about 3 yards on the pickup. And that is Bryce Breeden, not the way I said it earlier.
One of the only freshmen on this Bridge City team, a team that's made up predominantly of seniors and juniors.
The second down and 7 for the Panthers on the Cardinals' 48-yard line, still on their hash mark. 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Mares pulls it, and he's going to throw. Reception good to Wycliffe on the sideline, still on his feet. Tries to tightrope the line and steps out of bounds. And we'll see where they're going to mark him. It could be back at the 30-yard line, but a nice pass to a wide-open Wycliffe, and he does what he can with that. Deep into Cardinal territory at the Cardinal 30-yard line, Ross.
He was able to go by Colby LeBlanc, the defensive back who was right there and somewhat juked there.
Well, I'm finally getting a look at big number 60, Nicholas Lejeune. The first kind of, wow, he is a big kid. That's the nose tackle for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Valtiera on the right-hand side. And just as I said his name, he's the one that broke through the line and got a big meat hook on Valtiera, who manages to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's 2nd down and 10, 6.5 and counting here in the first quarter, Ross.
If you can see, he has got that ability. Even when they change direction, he's pretty agile and can change directions on a dime as well.
Well, right now I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the Panther offense. Probably the best that we've seen in a while, controlling the ball and the clock. They've had it for a while now. 2nd down and 10 from the Cardinal 30-yard line. Mares to the right. He's going to fake the pitch. Still on his feet, and then finally getting pulled down by number 27. And that is Bryce Linder. They got a lot of Bryces on this team. All right. Be a couple of yards on the pickup. 3rd down and about 8 for the Panthers on the Cardinal 28-yard line. 5:41 in the first quarter. Panthers in the middle of their first possession of the game. They did receive the opening half kickoff. And if you're just joining us, thank you for watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Mares gonna pull the ball up the middle with the draw action. And he's going to be really close to the 20. And at the end of that, there is going to be a penalty flag thrown. And I think that may be some late contact from the defense.
It was late contact. He was on the ground, and he pushed down on his helmet.
And that's going to tack on to a nice quarterback draw. And that's going to put them well into goal line yardage here. That'll drop the sticks. It'll be 1st and goal from the Cardinal 8-yard line. And that is a fortuitous turn of events for the Panthers. You like it when those penalties help out and don't go the other way.
One thing to watch, Joe, last year you had taken that week off, and it was Richie and Greg Box and I in Bridge City, but that one evolved into some fights as the night went on. It'll be interesting to see how it goes tonight.
And they're going to move that ball back to the 10-yard line. Mares pitches out to Valtiera, who's still running, cuts back inside and gets across. Touchdown, Liberty. And Alex Valtiera on senior night with a 10-yard touchdown run at the 4:55 mark. And the stands erupting. And those are the sounds that we love to hear, Ross.
Very much so.
Mares on to hold for Diego Diaz for the extra point. The hold is good. The kick is up and through the uprights at the 4:55 mark. The Liberty Panthers strike first, lead 7-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing at the 4:55 mark. Senior Alex Valtiera from 10 yards out with the first strike touchdown. And the Liberty Panthers ringing the bell early. Probably the earliest they've rung the bell since way back when they hosted Concordia Lutheran.
That was an impressive run by Valtiera. It looked as if he was going to be swallowed up in the backfield, and he was able to make a quick move.
Diego Diaz set for the kickoff, and he is not going to kick the ball off. That's going to be an onside attempt. The ball is loose, and we'll see who comes up with that. That was number 33, I believe, that kicked that ball.
I think it is going to be Bridge City. I can't see the no. Yes, it is Bridge City. I thought it was Bridge City.
That was some trickeration right there.
Yeah, I thought they got on it the second time. Jonah McElroy, who is an offensive lineman, as he was able to jump on that one before Godfrey was able to get on top of it.
Well, that was a gutsy call, and quite honestly, I love the call.
Good job by the officials, too.
Bearden, the quarterback, in the shotgun, and he will hand the ball off, and quickly in the backfield, number 26, Julian Batiste, with the stop for the Liberty Panthers. And Merrick Harris, is that how we're going to say that? Merrick Harris with the carry, and he might pick up a yard, or I can't tell if he got back to the original line of scrimmage or not, but no matter what he did not pick up much. That'll bring up second down and long for the Cardinals. Again, Hutch Bearden, the quarterback for Bridge City.
Watch the receiver on the near side.
Bearden is going to have to hold that. It's going to be a procedure call against the Cardinal offense, and that's going to back it up 5, and we'll repeat the second down as the Cardinals move to their 42-yard line, and it's going to be second down and about 15 with just about 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Cardinals with a spread formation trips to the far side of the field, and Bearden dropping back and going over the middle and finding no one. Tony Denman in the area for the Panthers defensively. That's going to stop the clock at 3. Well, I thought it was going to stop the clock, but it was still moving. 3:49. Ross?
Bryce Linder was the intended receiver. He lost his footing there, which created that illusion or the vision that there was nobody there.
Okay. I'm trying to follow with my binoculars, and I've got this narrow field of vision as I'm doing it. I'm glad that you saw that. And this time, still the spread formation. Bearden, the quarterback. And he will drop and get immediate pressure. Rolls out to his right and throws it. And a very nice defensive play. Tony Denman with the pass deflection.
And we're going to have this is going to go against Liberty. Tony Denman got in the face of the intended receiver and made contact on the far sideline. And so that is going to negate the stop. And because it was an after the fact, it'll be 15 yards.
Well, that is...
I guess it would be 15 yards anyway,
right.
But it's an automatic first down, so a mistake there by Denman.
Well, that is something that you don't want to see out of your senior leader back there. And as impressive as that stop was, normally you just want to take that gift and kind of move on with your life. That's not what he did. And now instead of getting off the field, the Panther defense will give the Cardinal offense a fresh set of downs in Panther territory from the Panther 43-yard line. And they'll recycle Bearden in the shotgun. And this time Harris with the ball over the right-hand side. And number 7, Bo Fowler, quickly getting to the ball carrier.
And we should have another penalty on the far side around the pile. There was a late hit. I did not see the Panther, but it did not appear that the officials saw that one, so getting away with one there.
And he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. Bo Fowler making his presence known. He was the one that flushed Bearden out of the pocket earlier. Second down and 10. And we're going to get another whistle, and I'm guessing this is going to be another procedure call against the Cardinals. That'll back them up 5. And right now, Bridge City very, very sloppy as far as the penalties go. You never want that for your football team, but the Panther defense taking advantage of that. Second down and 15, 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Bridge City. Bearden drops back, looks to his right, and that's going to be a clean reception, number 12.
That's Jarris Brown. He's the one that was targeted a lot in last week's game against Hardin Jefferson. He's got great hands.
Brown with the clean reception brought down by number 2, Denman. I'm thinking that's probably going to be a battle all night long between those two. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 6 as Bridge City is at the Panther 39-yard line, far hash mark. Bridge City going from right to left or south to north. Under 2.5 minutes here in the first quarter. Liberty scoring at the 4:55 mark, leading 7-0. Harris in motion, and Bearden flushed out of the pocket and pushed out of bounds by Denman, and Clevenger in that backfield quickly with the pressure on Bearden.
Yeah, one thing to watch for Bearden as the night progresses, sometimes when he takes off, he can be somewhat loose with that football, getting it away from his body and creating opportunities for fumbles.
And that's probably a yard pickup for the quarterback. It's going to bring up 4th down and 5. And Bridge City will keep their offense on the field. Bearden.
Jarris Brown on the far side.
And he's going to step up into the pocket and find a gap. Going to get stopped by number 9, Cade Jordan, but definitely going to pick up the first down, and then more extracurricular after the fact as flags are flying.
Yeah, this is going to be something. So far tonight, the officials have been right on top of it, which is important when you have two teams that seem like they're ready to go at each other.
Well, I was afraid this may have happened. Neither team really have anything to play for as far as postseason goes, but definitely you want to end on a winning note, and so that is what both teams are going for, to find some kind of positive spin to head into their off season. And right now,
I believe this is, actually I'm going to wait. I think it's going to go against Liberty.
It's going to be a personal foul against the Panthers.
I could not see, but by the indications of the officials, one of the officials looked like he was ready to start walking it off. Second personal foul, and this is something that Liberty has got to get under control tonight as they have extended drive.
It's going to be on the 17-yard line of Liberty. Under 2 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for Bridge City. Bearden waiting for his receivers to get set. And we're going to get another, and this time Bridge City is going to take a timeout, and we're going to take one with them. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. We are at Memorial Stadium for this final 9-4A action between the Bridge City Cardinals and your Liberty Panthers. And so far through almost a quarter of action, Liberty scoring first, leading 7-0, but the Bridge City Cardinals threatening, and the Liberty Panthers really helping out, Ross.
Big, that has been huge on this drive. Liberty stopped them on the Bridge City side of the field, but a personal foul extended it.
Bearden drops back, looks to his right, under immense pressure, and that's going to be a clean reception. Number 88 for the touchdown, and looking for a number. I don't see an 88.
I don't have an 88 on my list.
We'll get that number as quickly as we possibly can at the 138 mark.
Good catch by
Bearden
88 on the far side.
To the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. And now number 18, Victor Hernandez, on for the point after attempt. And number 1 with the hold, Stephen Stone. And Hernandez's kick is up and through at the 138 mark. Bridge City comes back and ties it up, all tied at 7. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. At the conclusion of that point after attempt, there was a flag on the field, and the scoreboard operator has not put the extra point up yet, as the officiating crew is conferencing at around the 20-yard line, trying to figure out what they're going to do.
I would assume this one's going to go against Liberty, since they're talking with the Bridge City head coach, trying to figure out what he wanted to do here. And they are going to – they're going to do something here.
All right, Ross, real quick, I'm going to go see if I can get that number 88. I'll be right back. You got it.
Looks like personal foul against the Panthers. That'll be assist on the kickoff.
And that's going to be a personal foul against the Panthers. And so they are going to walk that ball up to the Panther 45-yard line.
Onside kick here would be something that they could be fairly confident in trying if they have that in their toolbox.
All right, Hernandez set for the kickoff, and you're right, I would not put that past them. They don't necessarily look like they're in onside formation, but that doesn't mean anything, as we've seen multiple times. And Hernandez is going to try to put it out of the back of the end zone, and that's exactly what he does.
And we're going to have another flag, possibly. It looks like maybe their attention, but that one would have gone against Liberty had they seen that. And this is something that the Panthers, Joe, are going to have to get under control. They're going to have to get their emotions under control because it's really costing them.
There's no doubt about that. And you're right, this officiating crew has been pretty Johnny on the spot so far. Liberty Panthers going to have the ball on their own 25-yard line for their second drive of the contest. 1:38 to go here in the first quarter. Both teams at 7 apiece. Valtierra, left-hand side, finds a gap and gets through for a couple of yards. And our old familiar number 55, Aiden Richardson, with the stop, and that's going to be about a 6-yard pickup.
Valtierra on the carry. Looks like a pickup of 6. It brings up second down.
So we are getting ready for the second down play. It's tied at 7 with 1:13. Gavin Bowden is number 88. We have him down as number 11. And that happens a lot where throughout the week or different sets of jerseys, we've got a few of those on Liberty. Dustin Niles does a fantastic job of keeping us up to date when uniforms numbers are changed.
Mares, this time he's going to look to his right and throw the ball. Going to be a clean reception. Wycliffe again. Second effort going to be close to the 40-yard line. And that's going to be enough for a first down, Ross. Oh, I'm sorry, that stopped Jagger Carlin on the coverage of Wycliffe.
So far, Wycliffe has been able to get open.
This is probably the best I've seen him in a number of weeks as far as being open and getting the ball targeted to him. And that just speaks to what we've seen from Frankie throughout the course of the season. He's dialed it in much better as the season has progressed. First and 10 for the Liberty Panthers, just short of their 40-yard line. And this time a called run for Mares, and he's going to go up the middle following Valtierra's blocking. Maybe about a 9-yard pickup.
Colby Dean, the defensive lineman, with a tackle for Bridge City.
And that probably is going to be the final play of the quarter. I still see 1 second on the clock. There it is. And that is going to do it for the first quarter. After a 1 at Memorial Stadium, Bridge City 7, your Liberty Panthers 7. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing. Memorial Stadium after a quarter of action. Your Liberty Panthers all tied up with the Bridge City Cardinals 7-7. Alex Valtierra scoring first early in the first quarter, and then the Bridge City Cardinals coming right back with a passing strike from Hutch Bearden to Gavin Bowden.
And personal fouls so far against Liberty have been the name of the game. We'll get into that after this.
Second down and a yard for Liberty. This time Valtierra up the middle, and he is going to take a couple of Cardinal defenders with him as he picks up about 6 yards on the first down carry. And it'll be 1st and 10, Panthers in Bridge City territory.
Valtierra slow getting up, down on a knee. As time has been called, got the helmet off. Trainers from Bridge City were the first on the scene, now standing up.
Coach Joe Slack out there.
Alex Valtierra shaking up on the play.
And Alex coming off on his own power, so that's really nice as he jogs over to the side. Be 1st and 10. Big carry from Alex. 11:48 here in the second quarter, and Liberty in Bridge City territory on the 48-yard line, and they'll be on that far hash mark. It'd be 1st and 10. Ross?
Well, going back to the personal fouls on that first Bridge City drive, the first one, a massive one, stopping Bridge City, bringing up a 4th down, but a personal foul committed and extending that drive. There were 2 others on that drive that played a factor as well.
Logan Fowler checking in with Mares. This time Wycliffe with the catch on the outside and tightrope and still on his feet down to the 10 and pulled out at about the 8-yard line. What a pitch and catch from Mares to Wycliffe. Big pickup on first down.
Ethan Hernandez for Bridge City, the defensive back, was able to get a stop there and save the touchdown.
We had about 35-yard pickup on that strike from Mares to Wycliffe.
Hernandez, a sophomore, and he'll be a thorn in the side for Liberty for years to come, assuming everybody stays in the same district.
That'll drop the chains. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the Panthers. Logan Fowler in the backfield with Mares, and Mares going to pull the ball up the middle. Touchdown, Liberty! The sophomore quarterback finds pay dirt at the 11-16 mark, and Liberty gets back in the scoring column. Right now 13-7, waiting for Diego Diaz to come on for the point after attempt, and that looked pretty good, Ross.
A good blocking there by Nolan Kay, who has been tasked with taking on that nose guard, Lejeune.
And Diego Diaz's kick is up, and it is through at the 11. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. And at Memorial Stadium, Frankie Mares, the sophomore quarterback, calls his own number, 8-yard touchdown run. And just like that, Liberty retakes the lead, 14-7 here in the second quarter. 11:16 to go in the second quarter. Diego Diaz on for the kickoff for the Liberty Panthers, Ross.
And going back deep is going to be for Bridge City. We're going to have Colby LeBlanc, and he's going to be on the near side deep. Actually, he's going to stand in the middle of the field. Look at those shoes on Diaz.
Well, he's a soccer man at heart, and you got to have the flair. He's got the flair. Diego set for the kickoff, and it is not very high, but it is deep. Going to be fielded at the 5-yard line. Bridge City return man still on his feet, finding pay dirt, and he is in open spaces and getting caught from behind by number 10, Jason Wycliffe, who just runs him down. But still a great return from Bridge City They put that ball from the 5-yard line all the way into Panther territory at the 39-yard line. Ross?
That was a good job by Bridge City.
That's all you got for me? Well, that definitely is not the kind of kickoff coverage that you're looking for, but I like the track down from Wycliffe. That is definitely some closing speed, and that's going to put the Panther defense in a bit of a bind as the Bridge City Cardinals starting in Panther territory. 1st and 10 for Bearden, and this time he's going to pull the ball and roll to his left on the run, and he is going to get pulled down by number 2, Tony Denman, on the sideline. And I thought I saw a flag being thrown in.
There was a flag that came in after the play, or right at the conclusion of the play. Bearden lowering his shoulder right into Denman. He was not going to be denied.
Well, that's why I said I wasn't sure if Denman pulled him down or he was just along for the ride.
He was along for the ride there, Bearden. Now we'll see where this flag comes in. It came in, it looked like, at the end of the play.
Well, it's a 4-yard pickup, and the Panther defense has moved back, so I'm thinking they assume it's going to be against them. Of course, we've not received any sort of indication. I was going to be offsides against them, and they're going to go ahead and decline that. Now there's the personal foul against them at the end, and that's going to be what they take.
Okay, the head linesman threw, and I did see that. He threw the flag as the play was snapped. And then the personal foul, did not see who that was against, but that is Liberty's now 4th personal foul of this young game with 11 minutes left in the second quarter.
Well, that was a big one. That's going to push the ball all the way down to the Panther 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Bridge City as they get set on the far hash marks. Bearden, the quarterback, Harris in the backfield with him. Bearden dropping and looking over the middle, and all alone, number 27, Bryce Linder, with a touchdown grab.
And they are going to get Wycliffe there. As that flag came in on a personal foul, they're going to say that he kind of speared down, it appears. The touchdown will be good.
And that was a very good strike from Bearden. 20-yard touchdown pass to Bryce Linder. And Bridge City striking back almost immediately on the heels of some help penalty-wise. Victor Hernandez on for the point after.
Yeah, Bridge City was ready to kick it. The Panthers were lined up ready to defend it, and one of the officials had to blow it dead.
10:53 the scoring time for Bridge City. 10:53 to go here in the second quarter. Steven Stone, the holder for Bridge City.
And it will be assessed on the kickoff.
We're waiting for what's going on here. The holder, Stone, stepping up to the line to have a conversation with the center. And now it looks like they're ready to get this point after attempt underway. Stone. Snap is good, holds good, and Hernandez's kick is through the uprights at the 10:53 mark of the second quarter. Bridge City comes right back and knots it up at 14. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. 10:53 to go here in the second quarter, and Bridge City getting back into the action. The 20-yard touchdown pass from Hutch Bearden. And we're all knotted at 14 as the Bridge City Cardinals get set to kick off. And Ross, the 5th personal foul against the Liberty Panthers.
I want to lead with this, though. The officials, and I've said it earlier, and I've said it again, and I'll say it throughout the night, are doing a fantastic job of trying to stay on top, because if you lose control, and you're not throwing flags on personal fouls, it can get out of hand quickly, and they have been on top of it tonight.
Wycliffe and Tony Dimon back deep, and then the mid-level folk, Mason Shellhammer, and it looks like number 21, J. Myron Godfrey for the Panthers. Hernandez set for the kick for Bridge City, and this is going to be a squib onside attempt, and that's going to be fielded cleanly, and that's going to be number 24 who comes up with the ball, Cole Lawrence, a name that we haven't really called this season, but nice hands from that young man. And Liberty will take over at their own 35-yard line for drive number 3. And right now, both teams scoring on every possession. How about that? We haven't seen that in some time, Ross.
Well, and you wonder where the ball was with Bridge City when Liberty stopped them on 4th down. Had that personal foul not been committed, in all likelihood, they would have punted.
Valtierra back in action, got shaken up on that last series. It's good to see him back in. He'll take the ball the left-hand side, following Cody Broom, and putting his hand on his back. He's going to pick up a big chunk of yards, probably 8 yards on the carry, and that'll be 2nd down and 2. Ball on the Liberty 43-yard line, closer to the near hash mark. Liberty working from right to left or from south to north. And a beautiful night here at Memorial Stadium for this final football game of the 2023 season. Senior night tonight. And a big celebration for all the young men and women that compete under the Friday night lights. Frankie Mares this time looks to his left, and that is picked off.
Ball's loose!
And the ball is loose, and that's number 10, Jason Wycliffe, who comes up with that, and it was number 55, the name that we've called, Aiden Richardson, with the interception, and then he loses the ball. And so just like that, we go from turnover to turnover, and Liberty will have 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, because possession changed.
Wow, you know, that's what I love about this beautiful game. You never know what's going to happen. And that ball just didn't seem to come right out of Mares' hand. I don't know if he didn't have a good grip on it or not, but it came out a little awkwardly. But no matter what, Liberty Panthers coming back up with the turnover. Mares, and this time we're going to get a whistle. And we'll see.
It'll be against Liberty. Yep. It's a false start.
10:02 in the 2nd quarter, and that's going to be a procedure against the Liberty Panthers. That'll back them up 5, and we'll replay the 1st down, 1st and 15, Ross.
I think a lot of that can be credited to Colby LeBlanc, the defensive back who was showing blitz there. Almost looked like he was going to come off the line and got a flinch.
Ball on the Liberty 31-yard line. 1st and 15. Both teams all knotted up at 14. Frankie Mares in the shotgun with Valtierra to his left. Going to come across the right-hand side, being patient, following his blockers, and finds a gap. And he's going to get through and get pulled down by number 1. That's Stephen Stone. And not a huge fan of what I just saw there in my binoculars.
I did not see what it was. I was looking for a number.
Well, it was Stone with the stop. Valtierra on the carry. He's going to get about 4 yards on the pickup.
Yeah, the block there was by Nolan Kay and Isaiah Bacon. They split.
Yeah, Cody Broom was in there as well. This time, Valtierra on the left-hand side, and he's going to get stopped by number 10 and number 55. 10 with the initial stop, and there's going to be another flag in the backfield.
I'm going to think holding here. That is in the area of where it was thrown.
That was Bryce Breeden and Aiden Richardson with a stop for the Cardinals.
And it looks like they're going to back him up 10 yards.
So that's going to negate that. And that'll replay second down. That's going to be second and extremely long. Looks like they're going to have a 2nd and 21 from their own 25-yard line. This time they're on their far hash, and just about 9 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And this Liberty Panther offense trying to go wheels up here. Mares looks to his left, and that's going to be a good reception. Tony Denman, and he's still on his feet, finally gets pulled down, and he's going to pick up the first down yardage. So a big first down toss from Mares to Denman, and that will move the chains as the ball gets all the way up to the Panther 49-yard line. How about that? A big pickup back from their, what were they, on their 20? Yeah, they were on the 20-yard line.
And a new set of downs.
Definitely a new set of downs for the Liberty Panthers. Under 8:30 to go here in the second quarter. Both teams scoring on every one of their possessions. And we've seen a lot of ugliness kind of on both sides of the ball with the penalty yards. Mares pulls that high snap in. Valtierra right-hand side. And he's going to get pulled down rather violently by number 60.
We've got another flag, and this is going to be extracurriculars. And if I saw it correctly, this one's probably going to go against Liberty unless they get them for both.
Nicholas Lejeune with the stop on Valtierra. That was a very high snap that Mares had to corral down to give to Valtierra. And we'll see what the white hat is going to have to say. He's stepped over to that Liberty huddle and had a little conversation with them, probably telling them to maybe calm it down just a bit.
They're going to try to sort this one out, see if it's going to go offset.
Be a personal foul against Liberty. Personal foul against Bridge City. That is going to offset. And so
Personal foul against Liberty. Personal foul against
let's see what they're going to do here, Ross.
Those penalties are offsetting.
Well, they're going to spot the ball there, so much ado about nothing, but I would guess that's probably going to be some of the final warnings they're going to give about that, and they may end up having to start removing folks if this continues. Bring it second down and probably 6 yards for the Liberty Panthers. Mares with Valtierra back there with him. Mares looks to his left. Another awkward sort of pass. And that's going to hit the dirt and stop the clock at 7:51 and bring up third down and long for the Panthers.
Yeah, on those personal fouls, sometimes it is about who they see. And sometimes you, especially right close to the end of a play and you're concentrating on where the ball is, sometimes you miss maybe the initial contact. That time they were able to see it. Hence the offsetting penalties in that instance.
Mares. Valtierra behind him. And going to toss the ball out to Valtierra, right-hand side, and he's going to slip. And he may have just gotten back to the line of scrimmage, to be honest with you.
I believe that's correct.
And that's going to bring up fourth down and long, and this time we will see Diego Diaz on for the first time this evening to punt the ball. 7:30 and counting here in the second quarter. And right now, Ross, a little slip and slide sloppy out there.
It is getting a little slippy. Seen both teams have that issue in the first half. Diego
Waits the snap, and that's going to be good. End over end, it's going to hit at about the 19 and take a Panther bounce into very close to the goal line. Going to get touched at about the 3-yard line. Nice punt from the sophomore kicker.
One thing that you don't see in high school very often is a consistent kicking game. Liberty has that with Diego Diaz Ramirez. We've seen him over and over again pin offenses back on punts, even when under incredible pressure, that time doing it with a low line drive.
I was just getting ready to say that 10 times fast. You almost made it, Ross. 7:02 to go here in the second quarter. Great punt from Diego Diaz, pinning Bridge City very deep in their own territory at their own 3-yard line. And this time, Bearden having to stand in his end zone. And they're going to hand the ball off. And that's going to be Bo Fowler with the stop, number 25 with the carry.
That's Jamal Charles.
And he's going to pick up maybe a yard. And Bo Fowler stepping in that gap immediately and spilling Charles. Bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Cardinals from their own 4-yard line. And again, the handoff to Charles. Jayshon Godfrey getting penetration quickly and wrapping up the ball carrier and going to prevent him from getting much. He might have picked up a yard on that, but
I'm going to say a yard.
That was nice a play from the big fella down there, getting through that line and getting contact with the ball carrier. So we're up 3rd down and 8 as the ball is now on the Cardinal 5-yard line. Middle of the hash marks. Bearden standing on the goal line with Charles to his right. And this time he's going to drop and look to his right, and he's going to throw the ball downfield, and that's going to be in and out of the hands of number 12. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure Jarris Brown even had a chance at that one, as that was going to be going out of bounds. So that is going to stop the clock at 5:50. And the Cardinals forced a punt from deep in their own territory, and a really nice defensive stand from the Liberty Panthers, Ross.
Aiden Reed with the coverage on that one, and he was on him like a glove, although it was Bearden.
Bearden.
There's Bearden and Breeden, 9 and 10. Did a nice job making that where nobody else could get it.
And that was Bowden with the punt, and that's going to be fielded by Wycliffe, who's going to get pulled down at the 31-yard line. Again, that's Gavin Bowden who punted that, and he almost got that blocked.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there was any indication that he got a piece of it. He was incredibly close if he didn't.
Wycliffe with a nice return, and I almost thought he got snapped back on that. I was almost expecting a flag, and you had a better angle because I'm standing at a different spot, Russ.
Well, he started losing his footing. That's why it gave it that look. A good job by the officials really focusing in on that and making sure that was a correct call.
Mares alongside him, Alex Valtierra. Best starting position so far for Liberty. Mares going deep, and Tony Denman all by himself had his defender beat, and Mares just overthrows him.
Yeah, Denman had gotten separation.
That's going to stop the clock at 5:34, 2nd down and 10. The Panthers on the Cardinal 31-yard line, and play coming in, and that was a really good job from Denman to beat that cornerback and get over the top, something that we have not seen from our Panther receivers in a while.
It has appeared that they've been able to do that a little bit so far tonight in this first half.
Mares, this time to Valtierra up the middle, sheds a couple of would-be tacklers, finally getting pulled down by number 33, and that is Blaze King with a stop. And that's going to be probably an 8-yard pickup on that 2nd down carry. Bring up 3rd down and a long 2 for Liberty, getting close to about 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Both teams tied at 14. Mares with Valtierra on his left. And Valtierra right up the middle, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. And right now, that interior portion of the Panther offensive line just blowing up big holes. Number 78, Rubio, the right guard, Cody Broom, the left guard, and Nolan Kay, the center, just really going to work to exploit that middle of the field for Alex Valtierra. 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 19-yard line. Under 4:30 to go here in the second quarter. Mares with Valtierra to his left. And this time he's going to look left, and he's going to fire that over the hands of Wycliffe and right into the hands of number 8. And that is going to be
Colby LeBlanc.
Colby LeBlanc with the interception, and the promising drive stalled with the second turnover of the half. Wow, that kind of takes the wind out of your sails. But the positive thing is, on the ground, the Panthers have been fairly having their way. 4:14 to go here in the second quarter, and now the Bridge City Cardinals coming back on offensively after the interception, and they will be on their own 21-yard line. Bearden. And he's going to hand the ball off to, nope, fake the handoff, and that's going to be a clean pass to number 12, Brown. And I think he tricked everybody. He tricked the camera operator and tricked the commentator. That was a nice play action from the Cardinal offense. It'll be a first down, and they will move up to their own 31-yard line, Ross.
They employ the play action quite often in their offensive scheme, and against Hardin Jefferson they had some great success, and they've had some success against the Panthers tonight.
Bearden. And this time he does hand the ball off to Eris, and he will be stopped by a bevy of Panthers. And leading the charge, number 9, Cade Jordan, the senior middle linebacker. And Eris going to pick up probably 6 yards. Ball on the Cardinal 42-yard line. And we are approaching 3 minutes to go here in this first half. The Liberty Panthers taking the first half kickoff, so that means that the Cardinals will get the opening kickoff of the second half. So they will be motivated to try and score here. And a deep throw down the sideline, and that is going to be just beyond the outstretched hands of number 12, Jarris Brown, who had the Panther defensive back beat. And just a shade overthrown.
That was overthrown a bit, but Tony Denman, I wouldn't say that he got a huge gap on Denman.
No, it wasn't big, but he had him just enough. He just missed dropping it in there. It's going to stop the clock at 2:57. And this time Eris in motion. Bearden going to call his own name to the left-hand side, still on his feet. And he will get pulled down by Mason Shellhammer. And the Bridge City Cardinals are going to pick up a first down, and they will have the ball on the 50-yard line. 2:49 and counting here in the waning minutes of the second quarter. And so far, a pretty good ball game. One of the better ones that we've seen between two opponents here as far as the scoring and the action goes, Ross. Bearden in the shotgun. This time Eris right-hand side, and he's going to get stopped by number 23, Pepper DeBose. And I think Eris probably lost his footing there, and DeBose was right there to cover him up.
Yeah, he started slipping a little bit, something that seems to be an issue for both teams tonight.
And that's going to be a loss of 2 on the carry. Bring up second down and 12. Ball going to get moved back to the 48. And this time Bridge City probably taking a timeout, and they do. And we're going to take one with them. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. 2:01 to go here in the second quarter, and Bridge City facing a second down and 12. And they are going to be receiving the second half kickoff, and so they are probably fairly motivated to try and get a score here before the half is over.
As opposed to if they weren't getting it, Joe?
Well, there's more at stake if they can score before the half because they're going to get the ball right back.
No, I know. I was going to say
Bearden throws it deep, and all alone, Jarris Brown, and he's going to catch that ball and then get pushed out of bounds at the 25-yard line of the Panthers. And he found a pocket right in that zone coverage back there.
I did not see who had the coverage, but he was right there, and Brown was able to make contact with him and stay on his feet.
1:51 here in the second quarter. Bridge City 14, Liberty 14. And the Bridge City Cardinals threatening here late in the first half. Bearden. And over the middle, and that's going to be picked off. Mason Shellhammer with a big interception, still on his feet, cuts back to his left. And he's going to get pulled down by number 27, Bryce Linder. And now we're getting some extra flags on the field, but a big, big interception from Mason Shellhammer. And how about that, Ross? The Liberty Panthers, a victim earlier, and now the Bridge City Cardinals getting it right back in their face, as it were.
I could not see what they're – I was in watching the end of that.
1:38 to go, and that's going to be against Bridge City. And that's going to be a big tack on for the Panther offense to have some better field position. That's going to move the ball up to the Panther 31-yard line, and now plenty of time to get down there and find something.
Liberty has all three of their timeouts remaining. Bridge City with one.
Mares with Valtierra to his right, and Valtierra coming across the left-hand side, and he's going to pick up a few yards. And again, getting pulled down by Richardson, who has been all over the field for the Cardinal defense. It's going to be a very big pickup, 6 yards on the ground for Valtierra, and second down and 4 from the Panther 36-yard line. And Mares calls his own number, lowers his shoulder, and runs over a Cardinal defender, and he's going to pick up the first down with some tough running, and that's going to be 1st and 10 from the Panther 44-yard line. Panthers hurrying to the line into their hurry-up offense, and this time Mares going to draw back up the middle, and he's going to wrap the ball up and get across the 50-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout from the Liberty Panthers at the 50-second mark, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. 50 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Liberty moving the ball and to the 50-yard line, second down and about 4 yards for Liberty, trying to get something on the scoreboard before they head into halftime. Bridge City set to receive the second half kickoff. And Mason Shellhammer with a huge interception moments ago to stop what was looking like a for sure Bridge City score. Mares and surveys, rolls to his left, and he's going to keep that ball, and there's going to be a late hit out of bounds.
Up, and we got
there's
another.
There's going to be another penalty as the hat is thrown, and this time
this is going to offset, Joe. The first one was going to be against Bridge City, and then somebody on the Liberty sideline did something.
Well, Ross, as as a fan, this is somewhat frustrating. When things are going your way and then that gets canceled, that is definitely frustrating to watch for as far as a Panther fan goes. But those penalties offset. That was going to be a for sure first down, and now it's going to be just a 3rd down and 3. And we are 45 seconds to go. Liberty trying to get at very least into field goal range. Diego Diaz certainly with the leg to put 3 points on the scoreboard if they can get a little bit further down the field. Mares going to hand the ball off to Valtierra, right-hand side. And he is going to probably pick up the first down depending on where they spot this. And I think he's going to have enough for the yardage. And
he does.
That is going to be first down yardage. Ball going to be on the Cardinal 46. Panthers immediately to the line. And this time Mares looks to the left-hand side. Denman, he's going to be up, and that's going to be pass interference against the Bridge City Cardinals.
Yeah, and what happened there is Stone was not playing the football.
He definitely was not doing that, and that is going to be very fortuitous for the Liberty Panthers. Spot foul down there. Oh, I'm sorry, not a spot foul. Hello, this is not the NFL, Ross Norwood. It's going to be a big foul. It's definitely going to put them in field goal range, that's for sure.
Well, it does put them in field goal range. 15 yards here as they wait for the new football to do the walk-off. And they will walk it off. But more importantly, the clock should not wind, and so Liberty will be able to save a timeout.
The pass interference against Bridge City, and that's going to be spotted on the Cardinal 33-yard line. 27 seconds to go here. Panthers trying to get a little closer, maybe find pay dirt if they can. Mares pulls, throws to a wide-open Jason Wycliffe, who's going to step out of bounds
and
via
we've got
8-yard pickup.
We have a flag around the line of scrimmage that came in late.
And I'm wondering if he, yep. And when he pulled that, or actually he rode the ball a pretty long time with that mesh point, and that allowed some of the offensive linemen to get a little too far downfield.
Which explains why that one was thrown timing-wise where it was.
That's going to walk the ball back. 1st and 15 for Liberty, 21 to go. Ball on the Cardinal 38-yard line.
That'll move them out of field goal range.
Mares with Valtierra on his left. And looking, he's going to step into the pocket, and he's going to be forced to pull the ball and run. And I cannot believe it, but he got out of bounds. Cardinal defenders all over him. He somehow managed to step out of bounds with 12 seconds to go and pick up a few of those penalty yards back. Still going to leave them 2nd down and 12. Probably have time for one more play before they have to decide if they're going to throw it to the end zone or send on Diego to attempt a very long field goal.
It is an interesting situation to be in, and without that.
They do have timeouts remaining, though.
Going to take a timeout here to talk about it.
And we are not going to take a timeout. We're going to stay right here as we are approaching these final few seconds. And what a wild one this has been so far, Ross. Both teams scoring on all their possessions to open up the game. Had a couple of turnovers, had our first punt, and now a wild last probably minute or so. The Panthers trying desperately to get down here and get into the end zone before the half, as they are set to kick the ball back to Bridge City when they come out of halftime. 5 seconds to go, Ross.
From right here, it would be a 46-yard field goal attempt.
Well, he definitely has the leg for that, for sure.
He has the 52.
The question mark is the snap and the hold going to be good? There has been so much turnover on that front end because of injuries and other things.
They're going to give it a shot here on the near hash. This is the same hash mark he hit the 52-yarder from.
And we'll be interested to see if they're going to do the icing or not.
They will. They'll let him think about it.
And they are going to use their last timeout. Again, we're going to stay right here, a common tactic and technique. And I got to think it probably works at this level. The further up you get, the less that sort of tactic works on people. But
yeah, the one I like, some of the Mike Shanahan used to be the master at doing it right as at the last second the ball would get snapped. But the funny one would be when it happened in the original kick that would have happened had the timeout not been called missed. And then when they do kick it, they kick it through. But good strategic decision. No sense in with 5 seconds left going into halftime with a timeout in your pocket.
Well, Diego Diaz set for the long field goal attempt. And we'll see what we see. Snaps good, holds good. The ball is up, and it is through the uprights, and Diego Diaz from deep. As time expires, the Liberty Panthers 17, Bridge City 14. How about that, Ross Norwood?
That is what Liberty has been fortunate to have this year, and that is a guy that can boot one through the uprights. Again, not a question of whether or not that had enough leg or was going to just clear the crossbar.
All right, Ross, heading into halftime, your Liberty Panthers 17, Bridge City 14. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. As time expires, Diego Diaz with the dagger through the uprights. Liberty 17, Bridge City 14. When we come out of halftime, Bridge City will be receiving the kickoff. And while we're waiting for that, the Bridge City Cardinal band and dance teams stepping onto the field. And we are pleased to have with us in our presence. I don't know whether I should bow. Do I have to pull money out of my pocket? I don't know. Our esteemed Liberty ISD Superintendent Dusty McGee. Come on down, sir, and grab a headset. And I'm going to turn this over to you. All right. Ross has said he's going to turn his headset over to you. Then this guy, he knows. Are you sure? I didn't know you had to get undressed to give me your headset. This guy's over here. Man, I don't know. He's looking at me. Why don't you just do it and don't get undressed? I feel like I'm watching Houdini over here. What is this guy? What is this guy doing? You got everyone trying to figure out what's happening over here. All right, you just put it on whatever ear you got going on here, and let's get you going. Okay, like I said, yeah, our producer is asking if we want to bring down the sound, and I said yes, because I want to be able to hear the silky sounds of Dusty McGee, who some have said a combination of Fergie and Jesus. I don't know if that's a direct quote.
Well, let me tell you, this headset I got on, you know, I don't know if I even feel worthy of wearing it. I did not bring my SAT word of the day calendar, and so stepping into the headset of Ross Norwood is I am set up for failure from the start.
Well, we said our word of the day was going to be inference. We've used it multiple times.
Yeah.
I have used it multiple times incorrectly, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm glad Ross is not on a headset to correct me at all. But you're here. You were an English teacher. I'm sure you could infer the correct meaning on that.
Yeah, I'm going to infer that I'm going to regret this by the end of halftime.
All right, Mr. McGee. I said Dusty a couple times. I don't want to get fired. I can't call you that.
Please call me Dusty.
Okay,
Yes.
he says like that. He's shaking his head. No, don't do that at all.
Yeah, my name hasn't changed with the with the position. There's no new respect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no matter what's happening, we got some cool things coming down the pipe in the district. And I don't know that we've had you on recently to kind of share some of the cool stuff. We've kind of district-wide started to pull things together into a clear vision, a clear mission statement. And I know that all the campuses have gotten that message, and probably a lot of the parents, but maybe in a summation of it, where is Liberty heading at least for the rest of this year and then maybe into the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you have to figure out what you want to be in order to get there. And so, we spend a lot of time talking with people who are the most important people here. That's the people we serve, whether it was parents, whether it was students, or whether it was teachers, and, in our school board. And really what we heard a lot is that we believe that we should not take a back seat to anybody. Our students shouldn't take a back seat. Our program shouldn't take a back seat. Our expectations shouldn't take a back seat. When you think about we're the county seat, and we've got a beautiful courthouse right here on Court Square, and the vision has been for us to be the flagship of the county. But you can say that really easily, but it takes a plan, it takes a lot of work, and it takes people coming together. And so I think early on, that's kind of where #BeAPanther came from, because we defined and we continue to define what it means to be a Panther, and we do that through our Panther standard. I think, when you can't just say that, you got to continue to work at it. A couple of things that we've included. We have a Panther Council, which is made up of teachers, and we meet pretty regularly, and they advise kind of me from the campus level, what they're seeing, what deficiencies they see, where they think we can be better, where we are excelling. Because when we talk about promoting excellence, you can't see that like right here. We're standing on the top floor of this press box, and this is one view. But if you really want to know what's going on, you have to get down there in the action. And so that's where we're trying to focus our time. I think the neat thing is the Panther Council has a teacher version, but it also has a mirrored student version. And the feedback that we've been getting from those kids that we serve about how we pace our instruction, about adjustments they would like to see in the cafeteria or in classroom change, things that they feel can enhance their experience, can bring things to them that will help them excel. And if you talk about empowering excellence, you have to listen to the people who are there doing it every day, which are the teachers and students and parents.
I was just going to ask you about that, because you had that student quote-unquote council come over to the admin.
Sure.
And you fed them lunch not too long ago, and
Sure.
It seemed like everyone that went there had a really, really positive experience and came back just speaking very, very highly of what they thought they were going to get to do.
Sure, and we've got another one coming up. They have been very clear that they want chicken, mashed potatoes, and biscuits this time. And you know what they're going to get? Chicken, mashed potatoes, and biscuits. That group came over, and when you start something, I think when you talk about promoting excellence, it starts with an expectation. A lot of times people look at kids, and there are kids as young as 12 years old on that campus, or on that council. And you look, and people think, well, what experience, what advice, why should we listen to that? And they took it so seriously, and we've talked, we've made adjustments each time they come. We give them adjustments on things they talked about that it may not have manifested itself exactly like it was in their mind, but it was the start of an idea that adjusted something. They talked about some crowding issues at your campus, at the high school
Absolutely.
cafeteria. And since then, we have gotten all new cafeteria tables in there.
Those tables are beautiful.
And how it is set up now has allowed for space. The other thing is we actually had the availability of another line. And after that meeting, we talked to Ms. Sizemore, our food service director, and now there's an additional line open. And so, stuff like that, I don't eat in there every day, but to a student who's got a limited amount of time to eat, and, when I've been in the halls, I've heard them say, hey, the cafeteria's rocking. And stuff like that, I think if you want people to buy into something and you want them to really believe and rise to an expectation, you have to listen and empower them, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, I think one of the big question marks that many parents, community members probably, if they've not outright voiced it to you.
Sure.
Ross and I were talking about this senior class, this class of 24, were that class of incoming freshmen coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. And we've talked about that probably ad nauseum.
Sure.
As we're trying to recover from all the lost instruction time, and we're seeing that across the different grade levels. What is the plan in place that Liberty has been instituting to kind of get those kids caught up and ready for excellence, so that hashtag be a Panther?
Yeah, because excellence, I think a lot of people forget, right? We are a school district, and we exist to educate kids. And so when you look at that group coming out, there are two real issues since the pandemic from an educational standpoint. One is attendance. Statewide attendance, statewide averaged right at 94% if you took student attendance across the state. After the pandemic, statewide average was at it was under 90%, 88 to 89%. And so the first thing is getting everybody to come back. And that seems like a novel thing, but when you talk about having 2,400 kids roughly, and then you talk about 10% of that being 240, 5% of that being 120. When you post-pandemic are missing 120 kids a day in attendance on average, that affects how quickly we can recover some of those things. And so that was a real focus for the last at the end of last semester, right when I got the job, and we have really made some efforts in every campus. And I am proud to say, as of today, I get this update every week of where we are at. And there's competitions at every campus, and they can earn extra funding for their campus. But we are at 94% attendance. And so raising that attendance rate 6%, and what I think a lot of people don't understand are how schools are funded. We are not funded on all 2,400 kids. We're funded on the percentage of attendance for those 2,400 kids. And so when you talk about things we can do in our district, thank you, sir. When you talk about the things we are able to do for kids, in Liberty ISD, the difference between an attendance rate of 88% and just over 93% is about $600,000 a year. And so when you talk about that, $600,000 goes to operating, it goes to band instruments, it goes to uniforms, it goes to teachers, it goes to all of these things. And so, but the biggest thing is you have to be here to learn. Since then, this is the first year that we have a full instructional team. And the first thing that instructional team did was look at every month for those kids. And what we're seeing is that that gap close and our achievement rise, and we are super excited about that work.
All right, Dusty, as the Liberty Band and Prancers come onto the field, let's shift the conversation to things that probably you don't think about too much. When you look at a school district, a lot of people see football, basketball, or whatever the other sports teams are.
Sure.
And some people may forget that there are a bunch of other competition areas
Yes.
of the of everything, the spectrum, as it were. A couple of weeks ago, you traveled up to Lindale with the band as they competed in the area marching contest. And you talked about this funding and all these things. Band takes money, theater takes money, the AV program takes. It all takes money.
That's right.
So how do you, as a superintendent and then as the school board at large, how do you try to figure out who gets
4 years, really? We have a balanced budget now. And I don't think it's people say it's hard to balance the budget. It's hard to do. It's not hard to understand how you do it. And you simply don't spend more than you bring in.
Don't tell my wife.
But with that being said, that's easy to say, but that means you have to set priorities, right? And so we are proud that we have balanced the budget. We are proud that our school board has done a phenomenal job creating a fund balance for us so that when we do have some problems, we can internally kind of do that without going to the taxpayers. But I will tell you, we run much leaner. There are 33 less people who work here than there was a year ago. And we tried to do that without removing one certified teacher, because the priority has to be the instruction in the classroom. And so after you get a balanced budget, now you can start setting priorities. But you have to get level first, and you have to be fiscally responsible. And I think 2 elections, before we had what was called a tax rate ratification election that didn't pass either time. And what I clearly heard was everybody is struggling, and it's taken every penny that everybody has, groceries, gas, utilities, everything, right? And so what I heard the community say was, listen, we support you guys, we love you guys, but we can't. And we expect you to try to live within your means just like we are. And I heard that message loud and clear. And there were some tough days. We love all those, everybody who's not with us anymore. But we are balanced. We did not lose a certified teacher. We prioritized instruction. And what that allows you to do is, the week before in P&G, to your question, and then Lindale with the band, they're out here right now. And I am so proud of the growth that they've made this year, and they are really headed in the right direction. But when you talk about your group, I was at your play the other night. I was at middle school a couple of weeks before, but y'all, the middle school's about to cast for one act. You guys will be in that. You talk about UIL academics, whether it's calculator skills, whether it's accounting, whether it's extemporary speech, or when you get into when you get into ag. We just finished up TVE, but there's academic competitions within FFA, and so there are literally, as you know, hundreds of competitions that our kids participate every year. Yes, you guys are televising. We're in Texas. You guys are televising Friday Night Lights, right?
Absolutely.
And that's a part of it. But this, honestly, is just one small part. We have kids throughout our district who honestly probably are, I would think, 4 out of the 5 days a week. What people don't realize is we probably got a kid competing somewhere doing something.
That would be an accurate assessment.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And I think and all of those things, the more opportunities we can give kids, the more they are connected, the more they buy in. And when we are successful in those things, once you taste success and we expect success, then that momentum goes both ways. And after you start experiencing success, that momentum and buy-in comes, and you start to believe in that standard. You start to expect excellence, and I believe that's where we are headed.
Dusty, you mentioned the budget being balanced and all those cool things that are happening right now.
Yep.
And I probably speak for a lot of people. We've had some changes at the admin office, and
Sure.
I don't think we gave a shout-out to Ginger Raymer, our former CFO, as
Sure.
she kind of moved on down the road to
Sure.
something different. We have a new CFO.
We do.
And I don't know – I'm sure people have heard about it, but I don't know if anyone – I personally haven't even met him.
Yeah. So, we definitely appreciate all the work that Ginger did. When you talk about somebody in a financial position taking you through a pandemic, and unless you work in schools, you may not know, but there was a significant burden on the financial department because money comes in from federal and state. All of that accounting has to go back out. And, and at the end of the day, really the entire time she was here was in a deficit. And to be able to keep things rolling in that environment was not easy, and we appreciate certainly all the work you do. But even when you talk about the admin building, sometimes people come over there and they're like, where is everybody at if they haven't been there in a while, And I think what a lot of people don't understand is when we talk about those 33 positions that aren't with us, several of those were in the admin building too. I think when you ask people to do something, you have to be willing to do that yourself. And so, there are 3 or 4 less positions in that building too. I don't think you can ask a campus to be more lean unless the admin building is more lean, and that's spread out across the district. But our new CFO is Tim Britton. He, he's been in the financial world for almost 30 years now. Brings a wealth of experience, and from what I hear, people have enjoyed working with him and getting to know him so far. And so I know I've enjoyed having him around, and he's been a great addition. And I would be remiss if I didn't recognize Dr. Kate Chambers, who really joined me day one. The day I took the job, in a lot of ways, she took my old job, and I rely on her for so much, and she and I have kind of absorbed some of the positions that are not there anymore. But she has done a fantastic job, and we may be a small team, but we try to be efficient, and we try to lead from the heart, and that's a place where we want to open doors for teachers and students and for parents. And I think as long as we understand that this district doesn't belong to us, there's I think there's a lot of people sometimes that when they lead something, or when you get to be a principal, or when you get to be anything, somehow you lose or you the kind of perspective, and you forget none of this is here because of me. This district is really owned by our community. It should be driven by our community, and it should serve our community. But that takes listening. That takes kind of getting out of the way and listening.
I got to say that Kate is probably the most complimentary and positive person that I've ever been around. I feel like if I were bleeding out, she would say something like, "You've got the best blood ever. It's going to clot so well. You're going to make this. You're going to do it."
When you form a team, and we talk about this a lot, you don't need to necessarily replicate skills. To have some effective decision making, You want complementary skill sets in people that when they come together, it is a really rational, well thought out collective vision. And she has a very different skill set than I do.
Okay, you're sounding very Liam Neeson right
No,
now.
she really does. But I think, and Tim has a different skill set, and the principals, each one of them have a different skill set. But when you get us in the same room, it's not that we're so far off that we can't communicate. We just come at it from a lot of different angles, and I think what you get is kind of a thought process that turns out, hopefully, turns out a product that's good for the community, teachers, and students.
All right, Dusty, as we close up the halftime show, I'm going to make one comment and ask you one final question.
Sure.
And my comment is, as a parent,
Yeah.
when Halloween falls during the middle of the week, can we have the day off after Halloween? You don't have to answer that. I won't rope you in.
Well,
And then my question is, how has the 4-day week helped to alleviate some of the financial, boost morale, whatever? How has it been for Liberty ISD?
yeah, a lot of people, especially when they're trying to get the 4-day week, I am honest to a fault, sometimes to my detriment. A lot of times you will see that the 4-day week will save you a lot of money. I will be completely honest with you. The 4-day week saves you almost $0. But what it has allowed us to do, the number one indicator of success for students is the teacher in the classroom. And so when you are 30 miles away from districts that, because of a lot of factors, may be able to pay $20,000 more, right? Mm-hmm. What it has done is it has leveled the field for us in recruiting the best possible teacher to put in that classroom. And I think the other thing is it has done is it's focused us that we need to show up and work Monday through Thursday. And I think it has reduced fatigue. I think it has been a morale boost for students and teachers. But again, I think if you ask me what is the number one thing it has brought, it is competitiveness in the job market to get the best teachers in the classroom.
Love it. Been listening to Mr. Dusty McGee, the Liberty ISD superintendent. And anytime you get on here and talk, I enjoy it. I feel like I can float on clouds, walk on air, whatever else I can do that's positive.
Let me finish saying this. I don't say this enough. I'm one of the most blessed people in the world because there is not another community, and I've been other places. There's not another community that I've ever been in where the parents, where the community members, where the business members, where everybody in town will shut it down to do whatever it takes for kids. And that's what makes this place special, and it's why I'm blessed to be here. So I thank you.
Thank you very much. And are we going to hear Dr. McGee at any point? Is that coming down the pipeline?
Not unless I have a kid who becomes a surgeon. Yeah.
All right. That's going to do it for the halftime. And we're getting set to open up the second half. And we'll get underway here momentarily. Diego Diaz getting set to kick the ball off. Bridge City going to be receiving the second half kickoff as time expired. Diego Diaz with a massive field goal kick to push the Liberty Panthers up by 3. Liberty leads 17-14. And thank all of our friends for joining us on the Liberty Panther Sports Network as we start half number 2. It's going to be fielded cleanly at the 30 by number 5. Still on his feet, finds a gap, and he is off to the races deep into Panther territory, finally getting pulled down by Wycliffe. And that is number 5, Jagger Carlin, with the return, a very, very big return from the Cardinal 35 all the way down to the Panther, looks like 11-yard line. And Bridge City ready for business coming out of the break.
First and 10 for the Cardinals.
That escalated quickly.
That escalated very quickly. Again, thank you for joining us as we are carrying Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Again, Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing, who's running the camera at the halftime. Now he's not doing that anymore. How about that?
Yeah, he had nachos in the first half. Didn't share. Shotgun formation, ball handed off to Arias. It's Aris.
Aris.
I'm adding
Pepper Dubose, Keenan Clevenger on the stop for the Panthers. Again, a big-time return from number 5, Jagger Carlin, to put them deep in Panther territory to open up this second half, Ross.
And this is why that interception was huge at the end of the first half from Liberty. Shotgun formation. Aris to the right of Bearden. Bearden looks right, throws, picked up by Aris. And it'll be back to the line of scrimmage.
I'm going to be honest.
They're going to say no. It did look like maybe it had skipped in.
Yeah, I thought he short-hopped that one.
Aris did a good job of selling it, though.
He did. Be an incomplete pass, 11-01.
It's going to be the same result as if it would have been a reception. Bearden shotgun formation, Aris to his right. Bearden drops back, looks, he takes off, he's going to be swallowed up.
It's going to be Julian Batiste with a stop, Ross.
And he is taken down at the line of scrimmage, and that brings up 4th down.
A better result could not have happened with that massive kickoff return. Normally go ahead and punch that in for a big score, and now presumably holding them to just a field goal attempt.
And they'll come on. Victor Hernandez, the senior, as the ball will be put down at about the 19-yard line. On the far hash, snap down. Kick is up, end over end, and it is no good. Wide left.
Well, no good, so that means it's going to be a turnover on downs there, and we are going to stay here because it's not going to be a break in the action. Ross, while you were away during halftime, we had Superintendent of Schools Dusty McGee on. Great conversation with him about all the goings-on and the vision of the district at large moving forward.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it was not all about stupid things I say.
Well, that was off air.
Or that, yeah, well, or that I would not be retained next year. Mares hands this off to Valtierra. Valtierra hurdles the 25. He is across the 30, and he is going to be down at the 35-yard line.
Well, I got to tell you, that was a very, very good display of athleticism, and you missed the pep rally on Thursday, and the senior boys did a cheer routine, and he was standing out there, and from a flat-footed position, he jumped. I don't know how high he jumped, but he did a standing toe touch, and it looked like it was as easy as putting your sandals on, and so he has that kind of leaping ability.
9:50 in the third quarter remaining. Ball at the Liberty 35-yard line on the near hash. Mares with Valtierra to his right. Again, handing off to Valtierra. Valtierra goes up the middle, now cuts back to the near side of the field, and he'll be taken down after a short gain, maybe a yard.
Well, Nolan Kay and Carlos Rubio giving Linder the business on that particular. I love, we don't give those boys up front enough props for what they do, and for the most part that offensive line has been not the same throughout the course of the season as they've had various injuries. So doing a good job coming together here in that final game.
Liberty going to send 3 receivers out on the far side. Mares takes the snap waist high, gets it to Whitcliffe on the far side. Whitcliffe is across the line of scrimmage, and he is out of bounds, but only getting a couple of yards there on that screen play.
Number 5, Jagger Carlin on the stop out there on Wycliffe.
That brings up 3rd down. Be 3rd down at about 8 to go. Ball on the far hash mark at the Liberty. What is that, the 40? No, it's the 37-yard line?
Yes. Call that 37.
Ball at the 37-yard line. This time, 3 wide receivers coming to the near side. 1, Connor Giese on the far side. Bunched on the near side. Mares drops back. He's got plenty of time. He's going to pull down. Pressure from the nose guard. And this ball, he takes off, spins, and maybe gets back to the original line of scrimmage. And a good job there by Nicholas Lejeune, the nose guard.
Well, that was a lot of movement to get back to the line of scrimmage, but a nice bit of athleticism displayed by Mares himself, spinning away from several would-be tacklers, because that could have been a very large loss on that play. But prior to him having to roll out, he had a load of time to find somebody.
Diaz out to punt. Snap is back. He catches it at the numbers, gets off a low line drive, end over end, drops down inside the the Bridge City 36-yard line, and he's going to roll dead and be killed at the 30 of Bridge City. And with 7:24 left in the third quarter, it's 14 Bridge City, 17 Liberty. We're back after this. Oh, nope, we're not. I'm told by my co-producer we are not back.
We're staying. We're staying, Ross. What are you doing to me, man?
Oh, I don't know, because talk about consistency. Last week you were killing me because I wasn't getting out fast enough.
Well, you know, it's what we do. It was a lead up to Halloween. Who knew? Who knew? You've got the honeyed voice of
Frankenstein?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
His monster for sure.
7:24 in the third quarter, 17-14 Liberty ball at the Bridge City 30. Bearden puts a man in motion, drops back, and a little miscommunication. Jamal Charles was the intended receiver, but got him in the back of the numbers for an incomplete pass.
And that was Pepper DeBose right there. Almost picked that ball off, and had he come up with that, probably would have been able to step into the end zone for a pick six. And you're right, that was a bit of miscommunication. Charles never looked back for that, and I think that was intended for him the entire time.
7:20, ball still at the Bridge City 30 on the far hash mark. Bearden in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back, looks around, takes off. He unloads the ball at the line of scrimmage, but it falls incomplete in empty space.
Intended for number 44, and we don't have that number. Probably another one of those young men that are playing in an alternate jersey number. So we do apologize to our friends from Bridge City that we don't have that name.
7:15. Ball still at the 30, third down and 10. Bearden with two receivers on the near side, one on the far side. Drops back. Under pressure, looking for an open man, and he takes off out of bounds after about a 5-6 yard gain, depending on where they're going to mark him out of bounds. It'll bring up fourth down.
Big Andre DeBlanc got in the backfield and flushed him out, and then Julian Batiste pushed him out to wrap up a really nice defensive stand, Ross.
A couple of good defensive stands for the Panthers to open the first half.
And going back deep for the Panthers, Jason Wycliffe.
And we have 88, it looks like. But maybe I would think it would be Hernandez.
Well, no, he's the one that punted deep in the end zone.
And soccer-style kick, rugby-style kick, not soccer style, as it moves over down the far hash mark, still going, and it's going to be killed at the Liberty 24-yard line.
That was Bowden. He's been their punter all night long, although they've only had to punt a couple of times now. We really haven't seen too much punting in this contest, Ross.
That's right. Gavin Bowden, he was number 11 on our roster.
Yeah, both teams, whenever they've had the ball, really for the most part have chewed up a lot of clock on their drives.
Liberty will start this drive at their own 24-yard line. Snap back to Mares. Mares is going to take off, loses his footing, regains his footing, and he is going to get up to the 31-yard line. And a good job there by Mares to recover.
And your nephew doing a good job over there trying to open up a gap for him to get into. Ryan Hebert.
The man I can't name.
I have to say it because you can't. We've already ascertained that. Mares did a good job of staying on his feet, and we've seen that right between the hashes, and you can kind of get a sense of it. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera, but you can kind of get a sense that it's not muddy, but it definitely is beaten down quite a bit.
Be second down. Mares takes the snap, hands it off to Valtierra. Valtierra across the line down the middle. Helmet is off. Flags fly as the play is blown dead. Did not see what that was for or how the helmet came off, but it is going to be a face mask against Bridge City.
And that was number 28, and this was the young man that I didn't know how to say his last name. And I sent you down there to get a pronunciation, and then we couldn't decide on what it was. But anyway, number 28 did a great job for Bridge City staying in his base. And then Valtierra, just the strength of Valtierra dragging him forward to pick up those extra couple of yards.
And you saw the helmet in the air. Although we did see in a game earlier this year a helmet come off and there was no opponent around. So first down at 10.
Oh, that's going to be some movement on the line. Cody Broom starting just a wee bit early there.
They'll mark 5 yards back, and so this ball will get spotted at the Liberty 44-yard line. Be first down at 15 with 5:40 remaining. Clock still moving.
Students, just let you know.
They break the huddle. Ball is at the Liberty 43 or 44-yard line. I keep getting I formation. Mares takes the snap, options it off to Valtierra down the near side. He's over the 45. Flag comes in late, as he is going to be taken down in Bridge City territory at the 42-yard line, and it is going to be a holding penalty against Liberty.
Well, that's unfortunate. That was a really, really great run from Valtierra on that right-hand side, and I'm not sure that hold had anything to do with it, but we'll never know, I guess.
So a first down and 15 will now transition into a first down and 25. They're going the wrong way. 5:06, third quarter, 17-14 Liberty. Mares, Valtierra to the right, or excuse me, the left. 2 wide receivers on each side bunched. Mares rolls left. He's got Wycliffe. Wycliffe goes up and gets it at about the 40. And he is going to be taken down out of bounds at the 45.
Another big catch, and we've seen that a bunch tonight, Ross. Wycliffe is getting himself open into that flat area, and Mares is finding him. This is probably going to be a pretty good night for Wycliffe when we look at the final tally.
Ball at the Liberty 45-yard line. Mares getting the call from the sideline over to the huddle. 10 on the play clock. They get quickly to the line. 2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Mares fakes the handoff to Valtierra. Valtierra with a block, but sacked is Mares. A flag flies, and this one probably going to go as Bryce Bearden with the stop, and I imagine this one is going to go against Liberty, a block. Breeden. Excuse me. Did I say Bearden?
You said Bearden, but I said it earlier. Breeden.
And that is a hold against Liberty. And where that happened, Valtierra, when that was, it's going to be against Valtierra. Where that happened, you could see that could be a hold.
You can't really count that against him. He just didn't want to get his quarterback creamed. And unfortunately, Breeden was able to get through there and drop Mares.
Ball drops back, or is at the 39-yard line as the penalty is declined. Third down. Mares rolls to the sideline of Liberty. Throws, almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Breeden, the freshman.
That was just a really good job from the Cardinal defender to stand right there. And then we've seen this before. Mares tried to fit it into a tight window, and that's a hard pass. That's a hard throw to make.
4th down, Diego Diaz on for the punt. He'll stand inside his 25 at the 23-yard line in his neon pink shoes. The kick is off. Another line drive that works back towards the middle of the field, hits at the hash marks on the near side and rolls dead at the 31-yard line of Bridge City. 3:27 remaining in the third quarter, 17-14 Liberty.
Ross, this looked like it was going to turn into a track meet from the get-go, and it's really kind of settled down as both offenses are starting to get figured out by both defenses.
You get a punt, I get a punt, you get a punt. Richie gets a punt. That seems to be the way it's going right now. So the defense is tightening up so far in the second half with 3:27 left in the third quarter. Ball on the near side at the 32-yard line of Bridge City. Breeden works out, rolls right under pressure. He's across the line, spins across the 35, and he is going to be taken down.
It's Julian Batiste, who had him in his paws for a good while, just couldn't grab him. Pepper Dubose coming over there to clean him up at the end. This Panther defense, they are getting a bunch of pressure on him when he rolls out. He's just shown to be a pretty good athlete to sort of get away from it.
Ball at the Bridge City 38, now on the far hash mark. Bearden hands this ball off to Aris. Aris still on his feet as he drags a couple of Liberty players to midfield.
It was Cade Jordan who grabbed some of that jersey, getting cleaned up by Bo Fowler as he picks up the first down. And this is just turning into a heavyweight fight right now, Ross.
So it appeared that he was down at the 50, but they're going to mark him at the 48, Bridge City 48. Ball in the middle of the field on the P of the LP logo at midfield. Ball snapped back, again handed to Aris. Aris sprints away, this time across the 50, and he's going to be down inside the 45 of Liberty.
It's going to be Mason Shellhammer who spills Aris on the run over the right-hand side. And I haven't mentioned it in a while. I want to thank our sponsors again, C. Bruce Stratton, Christina Varela-Crisco, and Michelle Mangum Marandino.
Now you've gotten me conscious of who's who, Breeden or Bearden. Bearden is the quarterback as he lifts his leg to get the snap. Again, handed off to Aris. Aris charges forward, and he is going to get enough for the first down as he gets down to the 40-yard line.
Be Keenan Clevenger wrapping up the running back to prevent him from any more yards there. Getting close to concluding this third quarter. A lot has happened, but nothing has happened.
Much different than the first half. First down and 10. Bearden drops back over the middle, has a receiver at the 26-yard line, and he'll be taken down inside the 25 that's Steven Stone, the receiver who came across the middle.
Pass complete, number 1, Steven Stone picks up the first down.
And that one will be spotted at the Liberty 24-yard line. 58 seconds, and the clock's moving in the third quarter, remaining 17-14 Liberty, but Bridge City in Liberty territory inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. Ball still in the middle of the field. Bearden hands this off to, no, he fakes the handoff. He dumps it off to a receiver. And I couldn't see the number. That looks like Bryce Linder, as Linder's going to get another first down, gets enough for a first down.
The number 11, Shellhammer, coming across to stop him. And had he not been there, Linder probably would have been able to walk into the end zone on that.
Ball spotted at the Liberty 15-yard line, far hash mark. Two wide receivers on the near side, one on the far. Bearden this time hands it off to Aris. Aris is charging forward with a Panther around his waist.
It's Keenan Clevenger.
And he's going to get down to the 11-yard line. 3 seconds. That's probably going to do it. We have an injured Bridge City player, and the clock had not stopped. We're going to take a quick break. 17-14 Liberty into third. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Liberty leads Bridge City 17-14 with only 12 minutes remaining as the fourth quarter is upon us. They move down the field, change field position.
Oh, you're adorable, Ross. That's
But
what I love
even
about
though they change end zones, the ball for Bridge City is at the Liberty 11-yard line. Bridge City moving the ball in big chunks on this drive. The Liberty Band trying to offer some encouragement. Bearden in the shotgun. Takes the snap just above the numbers. Under pressure, hit as he throws. He's got a receiver in the end zone. Touchdown, Bridge City.
Oh, that was one heck of a catch from Jarris Brown. And fortunately, this is high school. He only needs 1 foot down, and that's exactly what he got there. And the official was just waiting to make sure that he had control of it when he came down. But what a catch in the back of the end zone, Ross.
Incredible catch by Brown, who I said as we came into this game has tremendous hands, and he just showed it there. Hernandez on for the extra point attempt as Bridge City now ahead of Liberty 20-17, their first lead of the night. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it is end over end through the uprights. And with 11:54 left in the fourth quarter, Liberty trails Bridge City 21-17.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Joe Roberts, Ross Norwood, producer Richard Ewing, and want to thank all of our friends for joining us on this special edition live streaming event, and want to thank all of our friends from Bridge City who may be watching with us. At the 11:54 mark, Jarris Brown with a touchdown grab in the back of the end zone. Bridge City taking the lead 21-17, and that is their first lead of the evening, Ross.
Getting ready for the kickoff. Hernandez will be doing the kicking. Ball's teed up at the Bridge City 40-yard line on the near hash mark. Hernandez kicks a high end over end kick to the far sideline. Wycliffe fields it. He is coming back over the middle of the field, and they're going to say forward progress stopped at the Liberty 32-yard line.
Nicholas Plasala doing a great job for Bridge City. Tried to get his hands in there and rip that ball away from Wycliffe, and Wycliffe was having none of that.
Joe, you mentioned something. 21-17 Bridge City. If you go back to the first quarter, on Bridge City's first possession, there was a personal foul. It would have been fourth down that extended the drive.
Are you making me relive moments in the past?
No, I'm just kind of recapping here because this could really turn into a big thing as Mares hands this ball off to Valtierra. Valtierra up the middle, flag flies, and Valtierra is going to be up to the 39-yard line.
Blaze King with the stop. Valtierra, big run.
And it looks like it will be a hold against Liberty. So they will negate that play, walk off 10 yards. It'll be a first down and 20 at the Liberty 19-yard line. Is that flag? The hold occurred at the about 39-yard line. So ball goes back to the. Wait, I think they're going to have a discussion about the placement of this ball.
Yeah, that seems like a
I was going to say it's
bigger than.
It was a 20-yard penalty instead of a 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, I feel like they don't have the ball correct. Yeah, they added 2 more yards on than they should have, I believe. Okay, there we go. They got it fixed now.
So the ball now at the Liberty 21-yard line. The referee winds the clock as everybody gets into position. Got to be 3 wide receivers on the near side: Whitcliffe, Geezy, and Denman. Valtierra gets this ball. He's sprinting across the 30, the 40, still on his feet, past the defender at the 40, the 39, tiptoes the sideline at the 10-5, touchdown, Liberty, no flags.
Woo! How about that, Ross Norwood? And we have seen that young man do that a time or two, hit the home run, and breathe a sigh of relief because there's no laundry on the field.
So Liberty retakes the lead, 23-21, pending the Diego Diaz-Ramirez extra point, 11:04. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, bend over in through the uprights and off the speaker pole. And with 11:04 left in the game, it's 24-21. Liberty will be back after this.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panthers Sports Network. 11:04 to go in the contest. The senior on senior night, Alex Valtierra, with the big home run hitter from deep in Panther territory all the way down the left-hand side to give the Liberty Panthers the lead again, 24-21 after the Diego Diaz point after attempt. Ross.
Well, this has been exciting. The third quarter was a punt fest.
Well, man, I feel like you get all the cool action. We take turns and we trade off. And
I don't know about that. Normally,
know,
at least this season, we've had a lot of non-action. Kick is going to be fielded at inside the 25, and here he is on his feet. He's across midfield, still on his feet across the 40, inside the 35, and he is going to be taken down at about the 34-yard line.
It's Jagger
33.
Carlin with the return, Ross. Man, that has been an Achilles heel for these Liberty Panthers all night long. They've scored, and then they've allowed the Cardinals to have just super prime field position on the return. And that's something that probably moving forward they're going to have to figure out, because that will definitely be a sore spot.
Bridge City in Liberty territory. Bearden hands this ball off to Charles. Charles goes across the 35 on his feet, and he is going to be taken down inside the 30 at the 29-yard line of Liberty.
Pepper Dubose, Keenan Clevenger, and Cade Jordan all combining on the stop.
10:35 as the clock continues to run in the fourth quarter. Liberty ahead of Bridge City, 24-21. In the final game of the season for both teams. Bearden with Charles to his left. Gets the snap, fakes the handoff to Charles. He's going to take off towards the near side. He's across the 25, still on his feet inside the 20. And he is going to be taken down inside the 15, it appears.
The Jason Wycliffe with the stop, and he's shaken up on the play, trying to roll himself out of bounds there. He was grabbing the back of his leg, perhaps catching a cramp. Hopefully that's what it is. Trainer's going to step out there and take a look at Jason, and we're going to take a break while the training staff does that. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. 10:08 left to play in this game. 24-21 Liberty, but Bridge City deep in Liberty territory. Jason Whitcliffe being helped off the field by coaches as he was shaken up on that play. And I want to mention something. The Bridge City Band, who I'm sure you heard during halftime,
Yes.
they just got back yesterday from the state marching contest.
Yeah, they did very well this season, and they've been kind of going back and forth with the Liberty Band throughout the course of this, and that's something we don't talk about too much. We can hear it in our peripheral, but it's fun when the student sections and the band kind of they're going back and forth at each other.
Ball handed off to Charles. Charles up the middle as he is going to get down to the 4-yard line, looking to see if they were going to give him the 5 or the 4. Bridge City quickly to the line. Charles to the right of Bearden. Bearden, another, fakes the handoff to Charles. He rolls right. He is on his feet across into the end zone. Sorry I hesitated there. And Bridge City with a touchdown with 9:37. They retake the lead.
Well, perhaps I jinxed it. We had that track meet at the beginning, and then it had a lull in a big portion of the middle of this contest. In these last couple of minutes, the fireworks have been going off.
Hernandez on to attempt the extra point. Stone holds. Ball is down, kick is up, bend over in through the uprights, and like that, with 9:37 left to play in this game, it's 28-24 Bridge City. Back after this. (28-24) Bridge City with 9:37 left to play in the ball game, as the lead has exchanged hands in a very short period of time with 12 minutes.
Well, a large part of that, Ross, has been the Panthers scoring, and then the special teams follow-up has just been wide open, and Bridge City has had significant positive starting position on most of their drives after a Panther score.
Devorian Bradford, the far return man. The near side is Tony Denman.
One of the changes tonight, the band has moved over a section, and so they're a lot closer to us. Yeah, definitely love it.
Hernandez ready to boot this one away. As he approaches the ball, kicks this one end over end, fielded by Bradford, out of his hands, but he picks it up at the 15-yard line. He's still on his feet, gets some momentum, and is across the 30 to the 31-yard line of Liberty.
Again, Bradford, nice return. Blaze King with the stop. Be a pretty nice starting spot for Liberty. And I think one of the things that they've done a pretty good job so far, Ross, is when they've had the ball offensively, they've just chewed up a bunch of time. Both teams still with their full complement of timeouts here, and this may come down to who has the ball last, Ross.
I was just about to say the same thing, Joe. Mares, first down and 10 from the 30. He's going to hand this off to Valtierra. Valtierra gets away, bounces out. He's across the 40, still on his feet across the 45, and he is going to be taken down just short of midfield at the Liberty 49-yard line.
That was Ethan Hernandez and Bryce Breeden on the stop for Bridge City. And Valtierra did a great job. Initially denied going left. He cut back to his right, very patient, trying to follow some blocking. And again, nothing on the field. Sigh of relief.
Clock runs under 9 minutes. Be 3 wide receivers on the near side. As Mares is going to roll to the near side. Gets across midfield, and he is going to be taken down at the Bridge City. Where is that, Joe? I can't.
Looks like they're going to be on the 47-yard line.
4-yard pickup.
That was the designed quarterback run the entire way. Valtiera rolling out and trying to lay a block down. Wisely getting off at the last second. Probably would have picked up a flag had he tried to lay a block there at the end.
Geezy goes in motion, coming to the near side from the far. Mares hands this off to Fowler. Fowler is on his feet across the 40-yard line, still on his feet as he gets inside the 35-yard line at the 34 of Bridge City, and a big run by the freshman Fowler. That's where they're going to say he was down. Fowler continues in the backfield to the left of Mares. 2 wide receivers on each side. Fowler's going to get the ball again. He's hit behind the line, but spins forward. And he is going to get down to the 31-yard line. There's an injured Bridge City Cardinal. As Joe Slack, one of the coaches, comes out.
And that's going to be Abear laying on the ground as the training staff stepping on to take a look at that young man. And let's go ahead and take a – well, no, never mind. They're going to get him up. Okay, so thank goodness he's able to get up and walk off on his own power. That's always a positive sign there, Ross.
And Bridge City coming into this game without one of their weapons who was seriously injured in a game, I believe, against Silsbee. It's either Silsbee or Hampshire or Hardin Jefferson, a senior. Abraham, how did we pronounce Mungia? As the clock is wound, Mares with Fowler behind him. Fowler's going to take this one, goes to his right across the 30, and he is going to be down at about the 29-yard line.
Yeah, Cody Broom trying to throw a block over there and got double teamed at the last second. Logan Fowler doing a really nice job of tough running yards as Valtiera trying to get a breather.
28-24 Bridge City. Under 6 minutes and 30 seconds to play in this ball game. 3 wide receivers. Well, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. Fowler dotting the I. Fowler's going to get this one, rolls to his left across the 30, and he is going to be down at the 28-yard line.
And he's going to run right into the open arms of Nicholas Lejeune.
And we've got a banged-up Panther as this clock will be blown down with 5:59 left to play.
It's Cody Broom laying on the ground right now. And again, the staff coming out to have a look at him. And we'll see what this turns into. Morgan, the trainer, going to help him up, and he's going to be able to get up too, so that's nice. Closing down in the last few minutes of this 9-4A contest, Ross. Both teams sitting at 1-4 records, and both teams trying to end on a positive note with a win moving into the offseason. Offseason starts Monday, and Chris Lackey and company going to do whatever that they need to do to get ready for next season. And it feels weird to talk about that. The next season does start Monday.
Well, that's not accurate. It starts in 5 minutes and 54 seconds, pending, with the exception of maybe an overtime. Mares, Valtiera back in the game behind Mares. Mares rolls to his right. He's taking off. He's got space across the 10 and into the end zone. No flags.
How about that? And that's probably the first time I've seen Mares throw the stiff arm. He threw off a would-be tackler and stepped right into the end zone. And what about the glow-up for Frankie Mares? When you think about game number 1 to game number 10, the progress that young man has made.
Diego Diaz on to attempt the extra point, 30-28 right now with 5:40 left. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it is through the uprights. And with 5:40 left to play in this game, Liberty retakes the lead 31-28. Back after this.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. You are watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. Senior night at Memorial Stadium, and what a game this has turned into, Ross Norwood. Frankie Mares scoring from, we could call that about 20 yards out or so, and giving the Liberty Panthers the lead again, and both these teams flip-flopping in the last couple of drives.
Diego Diaz Ramirez will kick this one. And it is an onside kick. It's going to go the requisite yardage, I believe.
No, I think he's going to come up about 2 yards short.
Okay, there we go.
Now, the crazy part is they were right there. Bridge City was not expecting that, and it actually glanced off at the last second. It glanced off a Panther, and they were forced to get that. And even despite that, that's still probably the worst starting position that Bridge City has had in the last couple of times after a Panther score.
Well, my predictions have not been wonderful this year on onside kicks, but I was not surprised by that onside kick as the ball is at the Liberty 48-yard line. The Bridge City offense back. Hutch Bearden guiding that offense as he hands this off to Aris. Aris is still on his feet across the 40. He is hit by Shellhammer and is down at the Liberty 38-yard line.
And probably a touchdown-saving tackle from Mason Shellhammer.
Bridge City's band firing up. Hey, babe. Ball at the Liberty 38. Again, going to be handed off to Aris. Flag flies as he is swallowed up and taken down for a loss. But I think we're going to have maybe some motion on Bridge City.
Well, if they have the chance, I'd decline that one. But they're not going to be able to.
And they'll take 5 yards.
I was just getting ready to say Julian Batiste did an amazing job getting into the backfield and wrapping him up, allowed the rest of that Panther defensive front to get in there and stop him. Wow. Now they're chatting with Coach Lackey, and
I don't know why you would decline it. That was first down.
Well, I would have declined it because it would have been a loss
but not
down.
Oh,
now
yeah.
Now they're going to get to replay the down.
Oh, well, no. Okay, I see where it was going to be spotted.
Right. It was still going to be a loss. I would have rather had the loss.
Bearden's going to take this one over to the near side. He is swallowed up and is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And was that Dubose?
There were a bunch of Julian Batiste over there, Cade Jordan, Mason Shellhammer, all in the area.
Dubose with the initial contact. I was looking to make sure we didn't have a 13 all of a sudden because I saw the 3, didn't see the first number.
Yeah, this Panther defense getting fired up right now.
Ball at the Liberty 44-yard line. Bearden snaps this one, and we are going to have a timeout. Bridge City with 4:45 left to play. Liberty leads 31-28.
Timeout, Bridge City.
31-28 Liberty over Bridge City, but 4:45 left to play in this game. A big 2nd down and 15 as Bridge City has this ball in Liberty territory at the Liberty 39-yard line. Out of a timeout. Bearden fakes the handoff. He's got a receiver. He's got him, but a flag flies at the 45 as he runs out of bounds, and I don't know why. I do not know Brown's
Yeah, that was definitely
name.
Jarris Brown over there on that left-hand side. And the Panther front just sliding into that backfield.
Flag is at the 45. And it's going to be offsides against Liberty.
Now that explains why they were able to get in there so quickly. Because I was like, man, they got in there awfully fast.
So it'll be a 5-yard mark off.
Well, if you enjoy football, Ross, this is a game that you're probably enjoying watching. It's been a back-and-forth affair all game long.
Ball goes to the 38-yard line. 2nd down and 10. Snaps back. Looks downfield. He unloads a tight spiral. He's got Brown. They're going to say he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds. That's a very good call. A great catch, but that right foot was out of bounds when that came down. He did a great job of beating the cornerback over there to get himself open, but more importantly, that
Marks, that's where it would be if it was in the middle. Bearden drops back, pressure. He's unloads a throw. He's got a receiver. It is complete. As Bo Fowler and Pepper Dubose, and that is Bowden with the reception on the far side. So 1st down and 10, Bridge City. 3:50 remaining. Clock runs as the chains are set. Bearden. Snap over his head. He is going to have to drop down on it. And that ball is going to be, we're going to get a flag.
Oh, they're going to get a late hit on that. He was already on the ground, and I don't think that was intentional at all. Bo Fowler trying to come in there and touch him, and he slipped. And it looked like he had to throw his hand out there, and I think that's what they're going to throw the flag on.
And there was the hat that flew as Cade Jordan was having a conversation animated with the one official on the far side. He threw his hat, so I imagine that may go against Cade Jordan. I will say that as you described that one, there was one away from the ball downfield that the officials could not see. So they continue to discuss what is going to happen. They got to get this sorted out.
That was going to be probably a backbreaker for that Cardinal offense. That ball came up and through, mishandled on the high snap. And we've seen this a couple of times, Ross. The extra, the other things that just aren't really a part of the game have really hurt Liberty.
And that is going to be against Liberty. And so a huge penalty that negates the loss there. And they'll mark this one off 15 yards. As this ball is going to move all the way down. And we're going to see what this is. Here is the indication. Personal foul against Liberty. Unsportsmanlike against Liberty. So that moves the ball all the way down inside the 20-yard line, and it will be placed at the Liberty. Well, they're still discussing where they're going to place it.
Well, that is, the word is frustrating, Ross. That's just frustrating. The initial flag, I would say, man, I feel bad because I don't think that was intentional at all. But then the other thing, and that's what they really have to get cleaned up as they move into the offseason. It's the other stuff.
The 8th and 9th personal fouls against Liberty tonight. 3:33, now the ball inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Bridge City not in a hurry. Bearden hands this ball off to Aris. Aris gets across the 10-yard line, and he is going to be taken down short of the 5 at about the 7.
The Clevenger with the stop for the Panthers.
I can't tell if that's the 7 or the 8 from my angle.
I think it's going to be the 7 because the linesman on our side looks like he's standing at the 7.
There we go.
Under 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
Bearden with a back to his right. He's not going to get this one as there was movement by Bridge City, a false start with 2:42, and that'll be a 5-yard mark off against Bridge City.
Well, it's going to come down to the wire here at Memorial Stadium. Again, thank you if you are watching, and thank our friends from Bridge City for tuning in with us. You're watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network.
Bearden hands it off to Aris. Aris is down as he loses his footing. It'll be a loss, and a big loss as it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, Jay-Sean Godfrey, great job getting into the backfield and disrupting that.
And with 2:16, Bridge City spends their second time out of the half. They lead, or Liberty leads Bridge City 31-28 back after this.
Welcome back, Panther Nation. You're watching Liberty Panther football on the Liberty Panther Sports Network. 2:16 to go here in the fourth quarter, and Bridge City deep in Panther territory facing a 3rd down and long. Ross?
I need to make a correction. That timeout was for Liberty. So 3rd down and long. Ball is going to be at the 13-yard line. Actually, that looks like the 15. Bearden drops back under pressure. Dubose brings him down. And that ball flutters incomplete. And there is a flag.
Well, if there's a flag, it should be for intentional grounding because he was clearly going down and just threw the ball. Pepper Dubose getting there very quickly.
Ball is at the 21-yard line of Liberty. And they're going to confer with each other. And it is intentional grounding. And a loss of down. And so now with 2:08 left, it's going to be 4th down and a mile.
Now, Hernandez does have a pretty good leg. I don't know if they're in field goal range for him, but he does have a pretty good leg. Definitely decision time for Bridge City, facing a very long deficit. They can get a first down without scoring, but man, that's
all the way down
way.
At about the 3-yard line. And on a big 4th down, Bearden empty backfield. As he drops back, he has time. He's going to take off. He throws to the end zone. Nobody there, and complete.
Now, Ross, this game is not over yet. 2 minutes to go. But, man, a nice position for the Liberty Panthers to be in right now.
2:01 remaining in this game. Turnover on downs, and Bearden let that ball go right at the line of scrimmage.
And he's a junior. He's got a heck of an arm.
Bridge City probably will not be in the district next year. They'll move up to Division I, it appears, if things remain the same, as redistricting will take place. I believe that's announced in February.
Yes, sir.
So ball at the Liberty 31-yard line, 2:01. Bridge City has 2 timeouts remaining. Valtierra gets this ball. He spins around a tackler, now cuts around. He's going to get a big loss as he's all the way back to the 20-yard line, and Bridge City will spin their second timeout. We'll stay with you right now.
Athletic maneuvers. Sometimes when you're a great athlete, you can athlete yourself into trouble. And I don't know if that's what he did there, but maybe.
Ball all the way back at the Liberty 21-yard line.
Now, here is where they're going to have to be really, really careful, Ross. They're deep in their territory, facing a massive second down and looks like about 20. And there's plenty of time still on the clock.
Yeah, they have 1 timeout remaining. It does potentially change the way Liberty has to run this one, as it is second down and 20. Mares fakes the handoff to Fowler, and he takes off up the middle. He's on his feet. He's across the 30, and it looks like they're going to give him the 30. And a huge pickup there. Almost gets all the yards back. Be about an 8-yard gain.
That was a really nice pickup. Very tough running from that young man. And the Bridge City Cardinals choosing to not take a timeout at this point. Probably smart. And Liberty going to let this clock milk all the way down. They'll probably take a timeout.
They are. Joe Slack, assistant coach, indicated to the line judge that he was wanting to take it down to 1. And that is exactly what happens. And a minute left. We're going to stay with you.
Now, the thing that we have here, Ross, a minute left and Bridge City with only 1 timeout. If the Panthers can get a first down, that's it.
Right. Well, I mean, in all likelihood, it's it anyway.
You're right.
With only 1 timeout.
But for sure, they don't have to punt the ball away. And that would be it. And obviously, that's what they're going to go for. Third and about 11, 3rd and 12 or so from their own 30-yard line.
Though they would have to punt here if they don't pick this up.
No, for sure. I mean, if they get that first down, they don't have to punt. Then that's it.
Yeah. Now here's the question, Joe. Do they run on the ground and force Bridge City to use the timeout, or do they try to go downfield to pick up that first down? They're going to run. Mares hands off to Fowler. Fowler swallowed up in the backfield, and a quick timeout by Bridge City. As we are inside a minute at 54 seconds. We'll see if they add any time there, as there was about a second maybe that ran off.
Now, here is where Liberty has that weapon that we've talked about, Diego Diaz, who has the ability to pin them back very deep. And then that will really leave Bridge City with not a bunch to work with, as they're out of timeouts now.
Joe, do you set up a return here, or do you go for the all-out block?
You know, this deep, I would think you'd probably try to go for an all-out block here.
They've gotten quite a bit of pressure on Diaz in his previous Diego Diaz Ramirez in his previous punts.
Now, the key here is to have a good snap. If there's any discrepancy there, that's going to put Diaz in a serious quandary when he gets that ball in his hands, although he has shown the ability. He's a great athlete, so he has shown the ability to do.
He has his toes on the 15-yard line. Good snap, waist high, gets the kickoff. It is a wobbler. Is going to drop down inside the 40 and roll dead at the 30-yard line of Bridge City, and 43 seconds remaining.
Well, that was a pretty good punt, and they did try to go after it, and he got one away.
That was a very good snap as he limps off the field.
Yeah, that's not his best punt, but that was a pretty good punt. And now Bridge City is going to have to figure out something here. Well, this very fired up Liberty Panther defense comes back out.
Hutch Bearden, the junior quarterback, though, has shown a very good arm downfield tonight. And he will have one back in the backfield to his left.
This Panther secondary going to try and keep everything in front.
Bearden with time, but he's hit as he throws. A wobbler. It is intercepted by the Panthers.
And that's Devorian Bradford.
Do it, Devorian Bradford.
And how about that, Ross? On senior night at Memorial Stadium, wrapping up 9-4A, the Liberty Panthers, barring any craziness, they will go out there in victory formation and down this, and they will step out of the 2023 season on a winning note. And they will move to 2-8 on the year and 2-4 in district play. And what a way to go out on a winning note.
And they still have, even though Bridge City doesn't have a timeout, they've got to make sure this snap is perfect. You don't want a turnover here. Mares in the shotgun, 37 seconds. And he will take a knee, and that will do it. And the Liberty Panthers win the final game of the season against the Bridge City Cardinals in a game that had everything you would want. And the happy final tonight as the clock continues to run, both teams going back to their sideline. And a very good performance by both teams tonight, and Liberty able to come out on top.
We also want to take this time one more time to thank our sponsors, C. Bruce Stratton and Christina Varela Crisco, as well as Michelle Manga Marandino for sponsoring our football broadcast this season. And senior night at Memorial Stadium, the Liberty Panthers victorious 31-28 on senior night. And the Liberty Panthers Sports Network not going away. We'll be picking up sometime in the near future with some basketball. And then as we move into the springtime, we'll go ahead and carry a couple of soccer matches. And then we'll move full force into softball as the Lady Panthers look to rebound from that state championship loss and come back and do what they're going to do this season, Ross.
And their student section is charging the field around the Liberty Panthers as they continue to pour out. It does appear, though, the goalposts are safe.
They're safe. Okay, that's good news right there for our goalposts. All right. And I need to give a shout-out to our senior AV crew, Eduardo Mata, El Jefe, a great ride for this football season, and he'll carry on with us through some of the other sports, but, man, loved every second of that. Zach DeBerry, Cutter Warden, and Grant Burgos to round out our senior crew. Can't do it without these wonderful young men, Ross.
Oh. Well, I was just going to say, what a great job they've done this year, and we will definitely miss the seniors. What an incredible achievement they've been able to make, and we thank them. And we thank the seniors who have just played their final football game, and they will leave this one with a good taste in their mouth your happy final 31-28 as they defeat Bridge City. And there we are. For Joe Roberts, Richard Ewing, and our entire cast of characters, have a great night. Liberty 31-28 winners over the Bridge City Cardinals. We'll talk to you for basketball.